Lamar should be good to go walking into week number 9. So if you're trading for him on the low, if you traded for him last week on the advice of this channel, as that advice remains cemented into place. Doesn't matter if you even traded for him last week and he didn't play. He was at a discount, a bargain, a seller dweller type of price tag comparatively to what he can bring to the table. Lamar is going to explode from here on out. The Ravens are figuring things out on defense. They're running the ball again. Derrick Henry punching in 2, as predicted, punching in 2 touchdowns last week. And Barkley and Derrick Henry might just win people leagues at their newfound value, which was seller dweller type of value. So we're going to break all of that down and more. JD5 trending in the right direction. George Pickens contract discussions. What's going to happen to him in the offseason, and a whole bunch other news. Trades are getting triggered everywhere, small ones at the current moment. We got even sightings of players visiting certain teams. We're going to break all that down and more. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. And ladies and gentlemen, Lamar Jackson hamstring was a full participant in practice. And not only that, not only do we have that information to go off of when we're talking about Lamar Jackson playing week number 9, but we also have him saying himself about the hamstring, "I'm ready to go now," when asked about playing week 9. He's a full go. There's no concern. Setbacks can happen. Of course, you're going to watch this channel leading into kickoff, but we're very much in a Lamar Jackson locked into place. There's not even a concern. There's no more concern about him playing week 9 than anybody playing week 9. So he's a lock. Can you still buy him low? It's possible you can get him cheaper than you'll be able to get him after week 9. Absolutely. Bye week out of the way. The guy's back from injury. They're going to probably still run the hell out of Derrick Henry. So Derrick Henry is still a good buy low, even though he scored 2 touchdowns. The yardage wasn't out of this world. So you might have people that are maybe tempted to say, maybe I sell high on Derrick Henry's 2 touchdowns. So Derrick Henry's still a player you could sell, buy low and potentially get some sort of 2-for-1 trade going where you have a magnificent return on a player that you're sending away at a 1-for-2 players, Derrick Henry and another player coming to you. Lamar Jackson, same thing. Maybe he isn't dirt cheap walking out of week number 8 because he's coming back, but he hasn't played yet. So he's going to be cheaper now than he will be if he explodes in week number 9, which I think he probably will. So now's the time to strike. Doesn't mean you're going to get a deal. Doesn't mean everybody's selling Lamar. I keep hearing people complain, "Smitty, no one's doing those trades in my league." I can't help you with that. I can't help that the one guy that has Lamar is not trading him. But I do know that he's very, very tradable or acquirable. And people are panicking and they need to make moves. Yeah, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, 2 of the best buy lows walking into week number 8. They tore it up. They did it live.
Stock on the rise.
They're both on the rise, and they're both players that you got to swoop in and adjust and adapt and take them off the owner's hands that took these 2 cats too high in the fantasy football September draft. They drafted them, or August. They drafted Barkley in the top 7. They drafted Derrick Henry in the top, 14, 13. And now the owners are panicking like mad dogs when it comes to trying to adjust and adapt themselves. They've got how many wins? 2 wins, 3 wins. I venture to say anybody that has Saquon Barkley, oh, they're sharps. Hey, trade for sharps too if the price is right. Let me get Barkley on screen. Where's my Barkley graphic when I need it? Barkley is 100% still a talented player that has the explosiveness to have 100 yards and a touchdown, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns every game. And the beautiful news, the beautiful piece of Saquon Barkley's value, and it's probably over now, but we're celebrating the fact that Many of you, hundreds of you, thousands of you probably traded for this guy as suggested, and now you're sitting on a gold mine. He's going into a bye week. He had a groin injury that he said he could have come back into the game if it was required. Now he gets to go on a bye. The bye week is beautifully placed for this running back to be able to return and not, here's the bye weeks if anybody needs to know, the week number 9 bye weeks. Beautifully placed bye week. Now Barkley can just relax, make sure the groin's good to go, come back and win you a championship. And the beautiful part about Barkley is he was never going to be able to take on a 400 carry workload this year. There's just no chance. But the fact that he's been misused all year is kind of like a little mini season of rest. It's almost as if he hasn't played this year, and that's going to uniquely put him in a position coming off the week 9 bye where Barkley can be from weeks 10 on, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. A shot of 8 weeks in a row where he hasn't been abused at all. He's been rested. This is the win-a-league player that everybody should have went and got. But if you didn't, you sat on your hands, and Barkley was there for the taking. The same thing with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry looks good, has no huge injury history whatsoever, and his team was playing like trash. His defense was playing like trash. The ball control was trash. Now Derrick Henry is going to light up like Barkley the final part of the season. He goes weeks 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He goes 9 weeks. Barkley gets 8 weeks. Henry gets 9 weeks of pure potential domination from the cost of entry. 2 of the best grabs in fantasy. 2 of the best players to be included in a 2-for-1. And that's all I got to say about that. Lamar Jackson, congrats to anybody that traded for him on the cheap. Keep trying, though, because Lamar, again, is a little bit more attainable than a Barkley. Barkley probably done. Buy low season done on the man. So we got Lamar out of the way. Let's go and talk about the man known as JD5. JD5 is expected to play. He's not as locked in as Lamar. Lamar's back. JD5's kind of in the same boat Lamar was last week, where it's like everything looks good. He should be good to go. He should play. I think he's going to play. And then maybe there's some sort of setback. But as of right now, Commanders coach Dan Quinn said Jaden Daniels' hamstring will practice Wednesday. So tomorrow we should know after Taco Tuesday, which is today. That's the only reason I know today's Tuesday. I don't really know my days unless I really dig into it. I know, okay, Thursday football. Okay. Friday start bench advice. We do a late live stream. Saturday, another late start bench advice live stream. Sunday's football. Monday's football. Tuesday's Taco Tuesday. Wednesday, I guess there's no real hump day for me, so I'm not sure what Wednesday really is, it means to me. I'm not sure. Wednesday's the day after Taco Tuesday. But here on Taco Tuesday, we're being told that Jaden Daniels will practice on the day after Taco Tuesday, Wednesday. And this is fantastic news. Again, setbacks can happen, but JD5 at this moment appears to be destined to play week number 9. Everybody gets their boy back. And here's the thing. I know we're all kind of down on JD5 right now. Even myself, I'm down on JD5. We got some super chat monsters in the building here tonight. We got BBQ dropping 100. We got Husseini dropping a 50 wad. We got a 20 from Vinny, a $4.99 from Dark, a $10 from Alec, Miguel with a $10. We got a $20 from Beezy. Beezy, appreciate you. Husseini, thank you for dropping that super pal. Keys with a $10. I'll get to all these super chats in just 1 second. The news is kind of short today. We only have a couple more pieces, and then off to the mother freaking news. BBQ says he got saved by Rice. That's amazing, because BBQ, you weren't feeling super good about and Lego Batman dropping a 20 right now. You weren't feeling super good about that week last week. I keep seeing everywhere like we're gonna throw away week number 8 as if it never happened. I see everyone's showing me these screenshots and clips of everybody talking about how week 8 was so bad to everybody. Everybody got it wrong. The whole fantasy industry's down. I don't know about you, but I crushed it week 8. A lot of the show players crushed it in week 8. I got a lot of people claiming massive victory in week 8 that watch this channel. So I don't know what everybody's talking about. We had a lot of people explode in week 8. The Scatterboo injury sucked. the Saquon Barkley little, scare that we got sucked at the moment, but it seems fine now. Goes on the bye week. Saquon will be fine. We got a few injuries, but the Scatterboo one was the big devastating blow, of Scatterboo. I might be back. We'll see. Scatterboo, I'll say this. They did emergency surgery on the guy. Usually they take a lot longer for a player to have surgery like he had. It's not like patellar tendon where they got to do the surgery within 24 to 48 hours to make sure the tendon doesn't shrink. With this particular injury, there's swelling. There's a lot of reasons why they might hold off on doing a quick surgery for Scatterboo. Let's short detour and then back to Jaden Daniels. You guys know how we do the detours here. So as far as Scat goes, it's concerning they had to go in immediately. That means there was something wrong with the actual ankle, whether they had some sort of artery or blood flow supply issue or concern, or there was some sort of bone lodging situation, infection-related situation, and they had to go in. The word is that he came back in, and it was, everything was good, successful, but we still don't have a lot of the finer details that would have us be able to calculate his return point. I will say this. There's probably zero chance he's back by week 1, and if they do rush it back, if Scat rushes back, that's going to be a problem. Let me turn the volume up a little again. I don't know what's going on with the volume here on the channel here. Test 1 2 Scatterboo 1 2 Scat 1 2 1. Okay, I think we're good. But we're probably, tell me if that's good. Is that volume okay? I know some of you, it might have just went up a little bit in volume, but is it clear? It's not like reverbing, right? Scatterboo is probably not going to return to form at least in 2026. Probably won't be ready till midseason. And if they rush him back, he'll get injured. It won't go well. But he's not going to look the same for the first year back. This is something that if everything was clean, if they went in there and they're like, damn, the bone was bad. We had to do the emergency surgery because we were scared about this, but it's okay. Or because the bone was protruding from the skin and we couldn't have an infection and we had to go in. Like there's reasons why you would do emergency surgery, but there's reasons why it could have still been okay. And if it ended up being okay, they went in, everything was fine. And again, that's the report that everything was good. It's hard to know. It's really hard to know. Everyone's going to suggest different things. Everybody's going to give you different reports. Even Scatterboo's team's going to act like everything was fine. There wasn't any complications. And then later on, we're going to hear, yeah, there was some ligament damage. They had to do this repair. I wouldn't believe much of what you hear right now because who's going to come out and paint a negative picture about the surgery? They're not going to. End of the day, he's a young kid. If anybody could come back and become close to form in, let's say, a year and a half from now, it could be Scatterboo if everything was beautifully done and the ligaments weren't mangled. And it sounds like everything went pretty good, even though they performed emergency surgery. But I wouldn't expect him to be 100% ever again. I would just be hopeful for it. If you've got him in Dynasty, no one's saying cut him, but I would be hopeful for it, but I would not expect it. The early onset of arthritis is almost guaranteed. And that doesn't mean he can't be good for 2 or 3 years after he gets full go again, if he does have everything work out beautifully. But early onset of arthritis is going to hit him like Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley, knees, issues, onset of arthritis, it happens so quickly. It's almost certainly going to happen here. And you look at Godwin, who's an older injury-prone player trying to come back from the same injury. He's just not the same, and he never will be. But he's got youth on his side, and I know a lot of Cam Scatterboo Dynasty owners are going to want to say, no, he'll be fine. I heard he'll be fine. I know that's going to be your take, and by all means, hope for it. And no one should be cutting him. In a year and a half from now, he might be looking pretty good, and he's such a monster. I'll be rooting for it, and maybe he figures out a way to be even better. It's possible, but just be hopeful. Don't expect it. But anyway, that's the news on Cam Scatterboo. Back to JD5. JD5 expected to play week 9. At this point, I wouldn't say locked in, but expected Lamar Jackson locked in to play. We have George Pickens news. Not much, but just that George Pickens and the Cowboys have not had contract negotiations, and that's not surprising. This is the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys don't operate that way. This is a team that does not want to pay their players at all, really, let alone pay them early or anything like that. What's wild to me is that Jerry miscalculates this kind of stuff. Pickens could have a slow, sluggish, fall. Possible. Lamb's back. Fergie's still trying to consume. They keep running the ball well. We'll see. But if Pickens has an uptick or a continuation of a little bit of what we saw prior to Lamb coming back, he's going to cost a boatload. And no matter what, he's going to want the world. So, as I said and predicted from the offseason, the pause button would be pressed on his diva mentality and antics. The pause button would be pressed. And we will see Pickens be happy. Look at the smile on his face. When they update his photo for 2026, he's going to have a grimace and no smile. I almost guarantee it. We'll pull it up and we'll laugh about it. This man is going to be all serious, all business. Pay me my mother freaking money. I kept my mouth shut. And honestly, to Pickens' credit, when you get traded from one team to another, when you're sniffing contract extension money, and he definitely was, almost 90% of the time, maybe 99% of the time, the player gets a contract extension in unison with the trade execution. Almost 99% of the time. This was an odd situation where DK Metcalf got paid, got brought in, and they traded for DK. Same thing happened with DK. DK was traded into Pittsburgh, and they gave him his new money. Because why would you accept a trade? Oh, yeah, send me over here and then not pay me. Guess what? I'm going to make a stink for you. So if you trade me, you're going to pay me. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were like, okay, that's the way trades happen. The fact that this guy didn't pull a diva mentality type of situation when he got traded from the Steelers to the Cowboys, and he didn't make a stink about it. And they're like, okay, we don't feel like he's going to hold out if we trade for him. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's risk the draft capital. Let's make this trade happen. Credit to him. That was very unique and something I never would have expected if you brought me back to the pre-trade situation and that news cycle when we were telling everybody he was going to get traded. Remember that? Everyone's like, he's not getting traded. He's not getting traded. And we said he's getting traded. But he wanted out of Pittsburgh so badly that he said, I won't even complain about a new contract. Let me go prove it. And smartly on his part, because he's going to get the bag. This man's going to get massively paid. Way over $100, probably $40 million. This guy's going to get bag. And the only thing I don't know is if Jerry's going to be the one to give him the bag. Will this become a holdout? Will this become a disaster? Will Jerry screw the hell out of this thing and make it the worst offseason we've ever seen for wide receivers and be right back to where we were? Is this Brandon Ayuk all over again, and then he has a bad season, then he gets injured? Look at Terry McLaurin. We don't want that. I don't know how it's going to go, but expect drama. Unless the Cowboys ink him up early, expect drama all offseason about what this man's going to get paid and how he's going to hold out and not budge, because he did the right thing, and he did do the right thing. To his credit, he did the right thing. I can't think of another example off the top of my head where a player with his stature able to get the money he was able to get said, don't pay me. I'll just go out and play for you, and then I'll get paid even double what you're probably thinking right now in the offseason. I want you to know that, Jerry. And Jerry's like, well, just see the thing through. Well, here you go. Get ready. Open up your checkbook, Jerry, because Pickens is going to go digging into it. Grab one of the blank checks and write a number he wants on it. That's happening. Memo will say, new grills, get me them. Do it live. I want it now. I want a new Lambo. I want a new house. I want to share off the bling and show everybody how much I'm worth. This guy's all about that. He wants everyone to know how much he's worth. He's going to go get that bag, and deservedly so. I think we have just a few other pieces of news. We got Isaiah Pacheco. I told you guys on the Patreon and in my Instagram that I can't imagine this guy didn't have ligament damage on his knee injury. And I showed how he should have tore his ACL. He didn't. But he stretched his MCL pretty badly. You could tell he was going to have some problems. He was jumping around. He was excited after they did the ACL test. They do a test where on the field you can tell if someone's ACL is torn. They'll still do further testing, and you won't always hear, okay, it's for sure he tore his ACL until they do imaging. But you can get that indication that the fear is the ACL is torn. The fear is that the Achilles tendon's torn. The fear is you can tell. You can't tell the grade of an MCL tear. You can't tell the grade of an LCL tear. Usually you don't snap the LCL or the MCL in half. So when you have a knee injury, that's a foot. When you have a knee injury, your ACL and your PCL are in the middle of the knee. You can see them on this model via the back, but they're not on the back. They're in the middle. Those ligaments you tear, you snap them. And there's tests for it where the player will sit on a table or they'll sit on their back and they'll bend their knee up. And then the doctor will take the knee from the bottom of the knee and pull. They pull on it like that, basically. And as you can imagine, if there's an ACL there and you pull, the knee joint's tight. If the ACL is not there and they tug on the knee, it goes, and it's basically free floating in there, and it's the LCL and MCL that are holding that joint tight, but it's not tight anymore. So that test is very, very accurate. And when the ACL is tight, they know it's good to go. That's why Pacheco hopped up off the table, started patting his buddies on the back, and just jumping up and down. And we're like, okay, I guess he's good. But there is an MCL tear. He's week to week. What does that mean? Well, we've got the waiver wire board here. And we certainly got to now consider, this is the refresh board. There's obviously more names. They're not all on here. But now we need to look at where we put Kareem Hunt, where we put Kareem Hunt's available in a lot of leagues. So I'd almost say like Kareem Hunt might be, let's say we move this to a 5, and let's say we move this to a 4. This could definitely be Kareem Hunt. This could definitely be, let's see here. What other player might we move? Bam. You could put Bam over here. I think at this point, DK, Benson, you can put over here too. Let's put, so Shakir, we'll put Shakir here. Actually, Shakir does deserve still to be over here. We'll put Shakir right here. Shakir, Bam, this would be Hunt. This would be Brashard Smith. Bam, Knight right there. So we can move it around a little bit, but percentage ownership, 75% for Marks. Tracy 35, Harvey, Hendy 70 and 75% ownership. So not extremely available. Even Fannin 67, but they're worth talking about. But Hunt, Brashard Smith, Bam, all need to be talked about. Tracy's going to be a hot pickup this week. I would personally pick up Woody Marks no matter what over Tracy because of the potential long-term value. But Pacheco is going to be day-to-day, so hang tight on that news. And then we got Michael Carter re-signed. We talked about this yesterday. We warned everybody, don't get too excited about Bam Knight because Michael Carter being released is an accounting situation. We've seen this before many times over. People get confused. Why would you cut somebody, bring them back? Because that's the way that the math works for them. And they practice squad you, and then they raise you up. And when they raise you up, then they cut you again. Then they sign you to the practice squad, raise you up. It's a way of pinching pennies for a team that doesn't want to pay the piper for a player that may or may not be long-term, use to them. They're basically renting Michael Carter for a week. Now, there's a good chance he stays on the practice squad or gets elevated to limited usage, but you never know with the Cardinals. And the bottom line is you're talking about one dumb move by DeMarcado or one injury, that happens to Bam, or one mess up or fumble for Bam, and you just don't know. That's why the Bam situation, it's semi-safe, but it's not a lock, and it's the Cardinals. And Benson, let's go back to the waiver ward and probably just say that Benson probably needs to be put right here because Benson soon will be returning. And, the play of these Cardinal running backs will determine how much they try and rush him back as well. So we'll probably put that Benson right around that territory. Michael Carter, again, expected to be re-signed by the Cardinals. Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Pacheco. I think we've got everything. Tyler Shuck is going to be the starter for the New Orleans Saints. What's that mean for the players involved? I don't know. I mean, anytime you jostle around stuff, you're not sure what you're going to get out of Olave. You're not sure what you're going to get out of Kamara. Does that mean that they're looking to trade Olave now? Hard to say. Hard to say. I don't think any of us have an answer. I know Shuck is got some talent. But like Caleb Williams, it doesn't matter if you got talent. Can you put it all together on the field? And so I kind of don't. I'm not a big believer in Tyler Shuck. But Do I think the offense gets better? We'll see. We'll see how he does. We'll see what he looks like. All right, let's get to these super chats. Appreciate all of you filing on in with your supers. We got $100 hauler sitting here. Who dropped 100? It was BBQ and who? Everybody's pretty. BZ with the let's go from order. I'll go from most recent and pile them up over here. This one's from Z with the $20 hauler. Z, you'll get immediate attention. Let me just drop everybody's in order. Everybody's 20 plus in order in which they were received. Z, appreciate you. BBQ dropping the 100 wad to get immediate attention first and foremost. We got Lego Batman with the $20 hauler. Lego, thank you very much for just the blank Taco Tuesday flex emoji. Will keep you in the corner and celebrate that amazing selfless super chat that you usually drop. Husseini with the $50 hauler will get attention right after BBQs. This one here from Vinny, $20 hauler. Vinny, you'll get immediate attention after Husseini and BBQ. Appreciate you, my guy. And BZ, appreciate you dropping that 20 wad. You're in line as well. And then we'll get back to the rest of the super chats after that. First one's from BBQ. BBQ said the following: I'm matching the Rice deal. Save me in week 3 in your week 3 leagues, mostly because I can't stop laughing at the Vegas is on the line phone call. Priceless. Would love to see a start sit video like the waiver video. I'll try and see what I can cook up this week and make a trend out of it, BBQ, and see if I can make something kind of fun. And I probably want to do it live. I don't know. Maybe it'd be live. Maybe it wouldn't be. I'm not sure. But BBQ, hold on. Hold on. Ring, ring, ring. Yeah, this is Vegas. Uh-huh. Patrick Mahomes, don't worry about it. We got you covered. Thank you. Yeah, Vegas definitely leans toward the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no doubt about that. Do I agree with a lot of the conspiracies that the NFL's rigged? No. Do I believe that these referees, one or two of them, might be getting a phone call or two, or maybe a little extra scratch in the stocking? I don't know. It's certainly possible. Human beings are involved, but no, I don't believe in a greater league conspiracy, but I do believe that human beings are corrupted. 2-6, now including buys. My starting lineup this week is JD5, Genty, Tracy. Excellent job with Tracy Husseini. Rice, Lad McConkey, Tyler Warren. Don't know if Hunter Sutton for the flex. I think we're rolling with, I kind of want to roll with Hunter. Sutton and especially Sutton. Sutton and the Texans are going to be a tough matchup for Knicks. Last night I misquoted some stats. I thought NFL.com refreshed some bogus info, and we're like, what? And we're looking at some stats. My bad on that. The Texans are top 3 in both yards and touchdowns surrendered to the passing attacks in the NFL. So it's very much going to be a safer avenue to go Travis Hunter. Love the team. Benches Knicks, again, yeah, going JD5 smarter if JD5's a go. Harvey, Judkins, Woody. Judkins is on the bye. Woody, Pacheco, Kamara, Benson. Changes to the lineup. No, unless we're going like Woody over, I don't know, Woody over, let's see, the flex. No, you could go Woody over Hunter, Hunter over Woody. You could go, honestly, you could consider Woody over Tracy if you wanted to. Chat, can I get a ranking so we can help Husseini? Let's rank all 3 in order. Woody, Hunter, and Tracy. Please rank all 3 in order for Husseini. Husseini, let's get Husseini at least 10 votes on those 3. Hunter, Woody, and you can throw Sutton in there if you want. Hunter, Woody, and Tracy. Please rank those 3 for Husseini so he gets the best advice possible. Again, Lego Batman, appreciate your $20 hauler, my boy. Dynasty, I just want to grab a running back, and owner wants picks. Who should I target between Marks or Javonte? And I have Blue, all 26 picks, and seconds and thirds and 27 and 28 picks. I'd easily, the vote, by the way, is Woody, Hunter, Tracy, Hunter, Woody, Hunter, Tracy, Tracy, Hunter, Woody, Woody, Tracy, Hunter, Tracy, Woody, Hunter. The consensus is telling me that Woody is in the top 2. So maybe you put Woody in that running back spot, And honestly, man, I'm seeing a lot more Hunter than I'm seeing Tracy. I do like Tracy. I'm not saying I don't. I pick him up like you did. I like Tracy, but I do kind of feel like the chat might be onto something here. Hunter and Woody or Hunter, that combination, Husseini. Maybe you bring it to us later in the week. We do a revote based on news and updates and how we're hearing about Hunter. Hunter getting wide receiver 1 treatment according to Liam Cohen. Hunter's going to the potential moon this weekend. I really, really love what I'm hearing about how they want to use Hunter. I'm glad we're not hearing some sort of weird update like things aren't going to change for Travis Hunter even though BTJ's injured. Like, I could just see that. These coaches right now, I could see it happening. Look at Vrabel, look at all these situations, but I'm so glad we're hearing things like he's going to get the wide receiver 1 treatment. Hard to sit him, hard to sit the wood maker, the wood master in Woody Marks. Like Tracy, but don't love Tracy. The thing is, Husseini, I love Woody Marks. I love Travis Hunter. I don't love Tyrone Tracy. I like Tyrone Tracy. So the woodmaker, the woodmaster, and the cheat code might be the top 2 players for me walking into this week. And I think the chat and I agree on that. Thank you very much for the super chat, young man. All right, this next one's from Beezy. Oh, no, this is the one that he asked. Okay, so do we give up a 2028 first rounder for Javonte Williams? I think I do. If this guy's surrendering Javonte Williams, we're talking 2028. How would he not walk into next year as the lead dog? Unless he got injured or something. I mean, how has he not earned his spot back? I think I take Javonte. I think if that's a move you can make, I do that. If we're talking Woody Marks, would everybody give up a first rounder in 2028 for Woody Marks? I think it's certainly in the cards as well. I think it's probably a little bit more on the line. But let's see. I think everybody's gonna probably vote Woody Marks, the woodmaster, the woodkeeper. I think he probably deserves it. Let's see what the chat says. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to give up a first rounder. It's still a little ambiguous. Javonte Williams is the running back 1 in Dallas. That's for sure right now. Can I get a vote on the woodmaker, the woodmaster? Would anybody take the woodkeeper for a first rounder future 2028? Can we get a vote on that? Can I get at least 10 votes on that, Beezy? So Beezy has a little bit something to work with. Beezy, I would do that. I wouldn't give up like multiple first rounders, but it sounds like we're probably giving up what is acceptable to get Javonte or the woodmaker. I got one Woody. I got no Woody. I got play Pickens or Vidal. Selfish question from Vanessa, but we'll answer it. I'll say probably Vidal's safer. Pickens higher risk, higher reward. But that I think we got to wait until we got more news. We just got to wait through the week. Maybe ask that one as we get closer. But chat, vote on that one. Would you start Pickens or Vidal? Vidal seems safer though for right now. The wood is worth it. Okay, the wood is worth it. We got that vote. I don't disagree. Wood or Javonte is worth it. Travis said Wood or Javonte, so he'd take either. Vidal, easy points. Vidal, Pickens, both are good. Yeah, Vanessa, I'd probably try and start both of them somehow, some way. Vinny right here, Smitty, 12-12 across 3 leagues. Rice, Bowers, JD5 returning, so exciting. Can I use the trade calc on the website as a tool for waivers? Absolutely. But keep in mind, it's not for 1 week at a time. It's for go forward. So if you're trying to figure out 1 week at a time, you're going to want to use the weekly lineup rankings. If you're using the trade calc is a very good tool for using, like even if you're doing a 2-for-1 trade and you're trying to make it a 2-for-2 with the waiver wire player that you're picking up, and it can really tell you the story about the trade. Or if you're trying to decide whether I like Woody Marks or Hendy or Tracy moving forward, the trade calculator is based on go forward rankings. So 100%. I.e. drop Burden, $4 for Bigsby, $10. Thanks. I'd probably rather have, but keep in mind that it's subjective too. There's some sort of, like even when I go through the trade calculator rankings, I could find something I disagree with like every 10 minutes. So don't take it too much of a, oh, Smitty, why'd you say this on the show? But your trade calculator has them switched one player over the other. Sometimes it's vibe, sometimes it's wind. The gust of wind can be strong in the fantasy football trade world. But I would rather have Bigsby over Burden by far right now. Thank you, pal. I trade Amon-Ra and Judkins for Henry, Dobbins, and Worthy. I'm fine with this trade because I think Judkins' injury concerns us enough to say we don't know what the week, the bye week in week 9 is perfectly placed for Judkins. We got the bye week of week 9. Let me put this over in the corner. Bye week 9. I'll put it down in the corner here. Couldn't have come more beautifully placed for both Judkins with the shoulder and Saquon with the groin. And really Igbokwe just a rest because he's a rookie and he's kind of, I feel like he's hitting a mental rookie wall, dealing with Baker's ups and downs and everything changing around him. This can compose this entire team. Baker comes out on a tear. Igbokwe comes out and plays top 5 to 7 wide receiver numbers going forward. This bye week was beautiful across the board. And also puts this Jets team in a position to recalibrate and try and make sure they build around Breece Hall, or maybe they trade him. The only bad thing about Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, if they were to get traded after this bye week, what if they get traded to a team that still has a bye week? That's going to suck, but maybe they don't. Hard to say. But Pickens, love this guy. As for Judkins, what was the question? Let me go back to the damn tree. Judkins. Judkins, I love Judkins, but there's still some unknowns coming out of that week 9 bye week. So does he play in week 10? Is he hampered in week 10? I would definitely take Henry, Dobbins, but then I move Dobbins and Worthy for another player. Like if I can move Keenan Allen or even Hunter, who I love, and upgrade using Dobbins or Worthy, I would do that. I would do that. But I do like Worthy. Don't get rid of Worthy. Worthy's not some bum or anything like that. He's a fantastic player that's going to get utilized quite a bit. Just got offered CD for my George Pickens and a Dunze. I'd take CD. I think everyone in here would. Would you rather hold Jordan Mason or drop him for Bashal Tutin? You know the answer to that. Tutin's my guy, bro. I think he's a league winner. So absolutely Tutin. Mason just doesn't feel like he's in a good position right now, especially with Aaron Jones back and the fact that we just don't know what's in store for him right now. He was one of those like Garendo or himself, Jordan Mason from the previous year, where it was like you're on borrowed time, but it's a good ride while it lasts. And he was a good sell. There's a lot of sell advice walking in the last couple of weeks for good reason. Chase Brown for Bowers. I'd rather have Bowers unless I'm dire at straits at running back. Then of course I could take Chase Brown. I'd probably rather have Bowers if I need a tight end spot really bad and I'm good at running back. If this is going to put me kind of light at running back, I'd rather have Chase Brown. They're very, very close. Chase Brown looks fantastic right now. Bowers and Bill for Kyron. I'd rather have Kyron coming off the bye week, to be honest, especially with your tight end room. You can definitely afford it. That's the kind of move you need to make with Gadsden sitting on the bench. Got offered Pittman and Kyron for Lamb and Vidal. I'd take Vidal and Lamb pretty easily, not even hesitating, to be honest. That's a smashing Lamb-based of a trade. Hunter and Woody are my top 4 for Gunner Player of the Week. Husseini says Woody or Hunter, Gunner Player of the Week. That's a good call. I'll say this. If anybody that drops over... No, actually, we'll let the chat vote on it. I'll let the chat vote on it. The Gunner Player of the Week. Guys in the chat, vote who you want the Gunner Player of the Week to be for this week. In the chat, vote. I want a consensus. It doesn't have to be Woody or Hunter. It could be another player. It could be even we'll try not to repeat it, but it could be Henry. It could be Genty. It could be Bijan. It could be Kyron. It could be Achan. It could be anybody. So just start dropping the votes. It does not have to be Hunter or Woody, but Husseini wants it to be. So you guys vote in the chat who you want the Gunner Player of the Week to be. Thank you, Husseini. Appreciate you. Swift and Allen for Pittman and Laporta. I'd take. Is that Keenan Allen? You got to be clear, because if that's Josh Allen, you're ripping him off. If it's Keenan Allen, I'd probably take Swift and Keenan Allen over Pittman and Laporta. But it's still close. I need a running back. Do I trade Keenan Allen for Monty? I'm fine with that move. That's crafty. It's maybe worth it, maybe not, but it's worth the chance if you need a running back. PPR rest of season, Lamar and Gadsden or Dimes and Warren. Lamar and Gadsden or Dimes and Warren. Wow. Give me Lamar and Gadsden. Gadsden's close enough to Warren, and I like Dimes. I'm not trying to rip on Dimes, but Lamar is just, leaps and bounds above him in terms of fantasy football value and scoring. Booty or JMO rest of season? Great question. I'm going to say JMO. I think JMO, if you want Booty, go after the Booty, bro. I mean, you're a Booty guy. Everybody understands that in the chat. But I think JMO is going to bounce back on a tear at some point. And if, St. Brown, who plays so tough, ends up like missing time, Booty's in the number one wide receiver role, or him and Diggs rotated. I mean, if Diggs were to go down, Booty probably stays right where he's at. But if St. Brown ends up, this is just an added bonus built into the value. If St. Brown missed time, JMO would go to the moon and back. Trade my Pickens and Dobbins for JD5 and Debo. I would rather have JD5 and Debo if I needed a running back very badly. If I was like Drake May deep at the QB position and I'm juggling that, or Dak Prescott, who I still like, I'd probably say give me the Pickens side. But it's very dependent on your need in your team. So thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Let's see here. We got more. I'm just trying to roll through these as fast as I can. Jones and Tracy for Aaron Jones and Tracy for Barkley and Addison Sutton. I'd take the Barkley side by quite a bit, Cody. That one's easy. BBQ. Never doubt Bruce, Scat, Wayne. That's a good point. I'll be rooting for him for sure. I'm just trying to keep people optimistically cautious. 2 QB league. Do I send Indiana Jones and Genty for Gibbs and Geno? Absolutely. Absolutely. My QB2. Oh, wait. Superflex. I'm sorry. You still do it. Kyler and Penix. Look, I'm not excited about Penix and Kyler right now, but I do think Indiana Jones is a nice player, but I take that Gibbs value all day long. That boy, that's a smash. It's always hard to trade a quarterback in Superflex. It really is uncomfortable, but half PPR, Jacobs and Waddle for Lamb, Chase Brown. I'd take Lamb and Chase Brown and run. Lamar for Bucky. If you had a quarterback backup situation, that's fine. Yeah, I'd take that. Team review: Stafford, JJ, Rice, Lamb, Bijan, Warren, Woody, Tyler Warren, BTJ. I like the squad. What would I move? It's kind of too late to move Jordan Mason. Too late to do that. Jalen Warren can still be moved. BTJ and Jalen Warren for one player. Adams or some sort of wide receiver above that. You could move Jalen Warren for ETN. You got Tootin, so that makes sense. Jalen Warren, try that. Jalen Warren and Mason for ETN. BTJ for ETN's even understandable right now, especially with you having Tootin. It's a very, very strong combo to have. CD, Bucky, and White for my JSN and Dowdle. CD, Bucky, and White for JSN and Dowdle. That's a really tough call because CD and JSN are pretty dead even. So if we took those out and we go Bucky and White versus Dowdle, I want Bucky and White, even though I love Dowdle. I'm going to lean toward the CD side. Very simple when you isolate that out. Is Stevenson, Tracy, and Harrison Jr. too much for Barkley? No, not at all. That's an absolute smash. I do that 5 times over. Let's go to Keys. Keys, appreciate your $10 hauler record. Record is 4-4. Traded my HN and Ollie for Rico and London. HN, Ollie for Rico, London. I like that. It sucks getting rid of HN, but your team needs to make a move. You're 4-4. You're 4-4 with HN doing what he's doing. So why would you continue going down that course? I would definitely take this trade. It only makes sense to do. Thank you for the super chat. Team is QB. Okay. Chase Brown, Rico. Rico will ball rest of season. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He will. Thank you for the super chat. Taz Keys, appreciate you doing that. All right, let's get on over to this screen here and let's continue to march on down the super chat. We got DMO with a $20 super chat. DMO, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Miss Smitty's making this pasta. I can smell it through the vents. Carries through the whole house. It's got like, I don't know if you guys like garlic. I love cooked garlic. Like eating like a full like a actual chunks of garlic inside pasta. It makes you smell like a vampire or whatever for days. But I can smell her cooking it right now. I'm coughing because I'm breathing in the garlic, but she hates it. It makes the whole house stink of garlic. She hates it. It's my favorite. I'm like, cook it again. I can smell it. It's coming through the vents. It is Taco Tuesday, though. That's going to be a tough conversation to walk out and go, I appreciate the pasta, and I'll eat it tomorrow night and the night before. But by the time I get off this show, it'll be about 7 p.m. Arizona time, and it's Taco Tuesday. You know, like I kind of have to go get the tacos, right? It's an obligation. It's half off. What's up, Smitty? On the Patreon, I asked to start 2 out of these 4 of Fannin, Mims, Loveland, or Davis. Fannin for sure once he's back, but Fannin's on a bye. So I don't know if you're asking about this like in general. So in general, otherwise, why would you list it? So I'm going to answer this in general on the season. We're probably looking at Fannin and Loveland until we get some sort of word that Davis is going to get more and more and more work continuously. But Davis is on a bye too. So this would be a very easy question for this week. It would be Mims and Loveland because of the 2 byes. I ended up winning my week. I'm 6-2, getting most of my team back from a bye this week. Should Davis be on the waiver ad? I think Davis. Yeah. So if we're ranking this off of waivers, I would say Davis is nice. If Brees gets traded, he'll be good. If I had to pick this for the rest of the year, I'd say Fannin and Davis. Yeah, and I'd order it that order for the waiver wire. Sure. Need a wide receiver, gave Woody for Keenan Allen. You shouldn't have done that, JW. You could have got a lot more for Woody Marks right now. Keenan Allen's okay, but he's hit and miss, and we're a big Woody Marks country. So I think I would have not done that trade. But I'm sorry to tell you that. Thank you for the super chat. It's not the end of the world. Keenan could still be pretty good, but man, and Woody could maybe not be as good as we think he's going to be, but damn, I'm going to take the chance. Someone did Puka, Henry, Caleb, Fortet, Woody, May. Puka, Henry, Caleb. That's, yeah. As much as I love May over Caleb by a country mile, that's a bad trade. Zachary, that's a real bad trade. It's unfortunate when people make stupid mistakes. And people are like, no one makes trades in my league. Yeah, sure. Hey, Smitty, I just traded Vidal and Caleb Williams for Herbert for a QB upgrade. I don't hate that, but I do think that I would try to get Herbert another way because I like Vidal, but it's okay. It's not the worst move in the world. My problem is I have JD5 on my bench. Why'd you do the trade then, Miguel? You got JD5, and he's back from injury, and you knew that was going to happen. He was sitting one more week. It wasn't like he was going to be out an extended period of time. Now you traded Vidal, who's a top 12 running back going forward, maybe the rest of the season. And now you got JD5. Would you consider trading him away? You have to. Yes, I would consider trading him away. You just got rid of a top 12 running back. I would say maybe you didn't need Vidal, I guess, is why you did it. Maybe that's the case. You could trade JD5 for mother freaking Genty, try for a Henry, for a Javante, for an Etienne and Tootin, for a potential Breece Hall, for a Chase Brown, for a Devontae Adams, for what wide receiver could you maybe get? Wide receiver like potentially a Dunze or London or Garrett Wilson or Igbuka on a bye week or Lad McConkey or, like I said, Adams. I mean, any of those players fit the bill, but I definitely, all you're doing is going to try and go replace and get Vidal back, or Vidal's value back. I would not have made that trade. But I appreciate you, and I hope you're not offended by me being honest about it. Thank you. Traded Jettas, Bill, and Hampton for Buka and Travis Hunter and Judkins. Woo! I would do that too. I think that any one of Buka or Judkins could be equivalent to Jettas. So you did a good job. Smitty approved. Absolutely. Get the button. That's a fantastic job, my friend. Smitty approved only Jettas and Rice, the receiver, before the trade. It is what it is, man. You got 2 good players, 2 really good players out of 3. 6-2, first place, 12-team PPR. I was offered Hampton and a Dunze for Sutton and Chase Brown. I would rather have Sutton and Chase Brown. Yeah, don't do that. I have H.N., Chase, Rico, K9 for running backs, and Amon-Ra, T-Mac. Let's trade Sutton or T-Mac with maybe K9 for one player, bro. That's the main move you need to work on, and just start going, go from the top down and offer for the world, and just keep working your way down until you get to a point where you're not comfortable anymore. You know, is there a trade in half PPR to sell high on Jonathan Taylor with his injury history and chance he comes back down to earth? I mean, I really don't look to trade JT like I would look to trade CMC. CMC, I'm actively trying to get 2 amazing players for, and CMC owners always hate to hear this. because they don't hear me. They just listen, but they don't actually absorb what I'm saying. No one's saying to trade CMC for the highest bidder. Someone gives you a bad offer, you just do it. Oh, one player for one or two for two. No, Christian McCaffrey for 2 pots of gold. You get London, who you could say is not a pot of gold. Whatever. Go JJ. You could say he's not a pot of gold. Whatever you want to do. If you go get JJ, let's say, for Christian McCaffrey, you need to also get another player like Judkins and JJ for Christian McCaffrey. You can get that done. That is doable. That is an easy trade to get done for Christian McCaffrey. Now, JT, I would venture to say, I don't expect him to slow down, really. His injury history is a concern, but, I mean, are you really going to be concerned when you're walking to week 9 or just ride the wave and hope the wave doesn't crash? I think that you probably just ride the wave, bro. He doesn't feel like somebody you should be trying to actively trade. CMC, I would actively trade. JT, just enjoy the ride. I guess the only thing I would say is if Esteban, you're like 3 or 2 wins with JT, you're obviously not getting it done. So maybe you explore what you can get in terms of a sell high. If you've got 5 wins or more and you've got JT, you just need to log out of your app and change your password without looking, like just kind of make a new password and hit enter so you don't know it anymore. That way you don't trade JT just getting bored. Knicks, Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Rice, Flowers, Kelsey, London, Fannin, Henderson, Hunt, Debo, 5 and 3, Garrett Wilson, any moves? I love Gibbs and Kyron, love Knicks, love Rice. London's fine. It's a great team. I don't think so. It's a very good stand-down team. Maybe Garrett Wilson and Debo for one player. Maybe you're looking and exploring Kyron and Garrett Wilson or Kyron and Debo for just a small upgrade to, like, I don't know, Achane, maybe something along those lines. Try and buy Gibbs on the low. You know, could Kyron and Garrett Wilson get you Gibbs? Or I'm sorry, Bijan to go next to Gibbs? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe 3 players maybe Debo, Garrett Wilson, and Kyron can get you Bijan. I don't know. You could try it. But honestly, this team looks great. Not even worried about it. Would I sell Kelsey and Debo or Kelsey and Garrett Wilson on the high for one player like Henry, an extra piece? Why not? Would I sell Knicks and maybe Debo or Knicks and Garrett Wilson on the high to go get Josh Allen or Lamar? I would. I like Knicks. Knicks is top 5 to 7 for me, but Lamar's top 3. So maybe Lamar is your target. That might be the best player for you to go get, actually, is Lamar. I traded Love and McLaurin for JD5. I could get behind either one of those sides. Those are very, very close. Trade Debo and Gadsden for Genty and Chase Brown. I would rather have Genty and Chase Brown by a lot because those are 2 players I believe in. We don't know about the other side of that. What's your outlook on Sutton rest of season Franklin breakout? I think Sutton's going to be solid. I don't know. Franklin will have ups and downs like any player would that's kind of getting into his own. I like Franklin a lot. Looks really good, but I think Sutton's still, you know, the one, but they could rotate it. I do like Sutton. I still like him. I think he's a good buy low, especially if you're doing a 2-for-1 and you're barely doing a 2-for-1. Like you're getting rid of one player that you kind of like the player you're getting back almost as much, but they're under the radar and you get Sutton thrown in. That's a good way to get 2 players for your lineup. 5 and 3, Knicks, Dart, Bijan, Bucky, Woody, Harvey, Benson, Aaron Jones, JSN, Rashi, Rice, Ladd. What a group of wide receivers and a tight end combination you got there. Ladd and a Dunze plus a cheap running back for someone elite. Yeah, you could try and get like a Kyron or an Achane, definitely in the cards. A wide receiver like a Buka maybe, but is that, you know, Ladd and the Dunze is a lot. I definitely think, you know, London off the bye week is interesting, but maybe Ladd and Dunze is better than even London, straight up, to be honest. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I'd go after JJ. JJ's a very good player to bank on. I think people run away from JJ because of his QB situation, but we got to remember that years and years and years and years, you're talking about, you know, 50 years of fantasy football players trusting players in worse QB situations than JJ, and elite players produce elite points like JJ. 3 and 5 non-PPR TD premium. Love, Kyler, Brees, Vidal, Genty, RJ, Puka, Rice, Garrett Wilson, BTJ, MHA, Bowers, Gadsden. Got offered Bucky and a Dunze for Puka. I would rather have, wow, that's a tough one. You're 3 and 5. Puka's coming off the bye week, though, bro. I would say just keep Puka. You've got so much depth anyways. Why do you need depth? If anything, you should be consolidating. You should be taking a Vidal and Brees to go with Garrett Wilson to get one better player. MHJ, throw MHJ and BTJ together for one better player. Throw Gadsden or Bowers with Brees for one better player. You're going about this wrong. You're the last team. Even though I like the deal on paper, it's not bad. But you're the last team that should be going and getting 2 players for 1 and diluting your talent. You should ride that Puka Nacua train walking into the rest of the season bye week free. Hey, bro, this is my team for week 9. Drake May, Cook, ETN, JSN, Rome, McBride, Travis Hunter, bench, Judkins on the bye, Woody. I like the team. I'm 5-3, 10-man. Any moves? I would say you're kind of riding this little wave that you're on, bro, and you just let it go. There's not much to really do. You're waiting on Judkins. Once he comes back, maybe. I mean, you just weather through the bye weeks with this arsenal that you got. Now, would I maybe trade ETN and JCM or ETN and Woody or ETN and potentially, let's say, Gadsden? I think that's your only trade point is one of your tight ends. Trade one of your tight ends, I guess Gadsden and ETN for one monster. Henry, Barkley, Nico. You're not going to get Rice. Maybe London, maybe Ibuka. You could get. Probably that's the move with that team. Alicia, appreciate your super chat. Is it worth holding JCM and Malik Washington? Probably not, but it depends on the situation. Or can I trade them to alleviate bye week issues? I would be okay with that. Example, trade my JCM in for Goddard. Sure, love that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. JCM's got no tremendously locked in value. They misuse him. I don't know. It's possible JD5 comes back and it's all fixed for him. Who knows? You got to keep tabs on him. But right now we have no evidence that JCM's going to get used properly. And then, or can I drop Washington for Fannin? I would do both of those. Make sure Tootin's not out there. Here's the waiver board one more time. Mark's number one priority, assuming Vidal, Gadsden, and Hunter are all gone. Mark's, Tracy, Harvey, Hendy are more important in Tootin than I think those guys and Fannin. So Fannin and one of those running backs a little bit more important, in my opinion, than getting. I mean, Goddard's nice though. That's not bad. You could go Goddard and one of those guys. If you go Goddard or Fannin, you choose one of those, then I'd take one of those other running backs in that order of Marks. I would go Marks, Harvey, Hendy, Tootin, Tracy if I'm looking for long-term value and I'm not using Tracy right now. If you needed Tracy right now, it's understandable to grab him first. 1 QB, 12 team. Thank you for that super chat. Andrew, thank you for your super chat. 1 QB, 12 team PPR. Should I trade away CD and Kyron for Barkley, London, and Terry McLaurin? Terry McLaurin re-injured his quad, so he's day-to-day now. It's just a mess. Washington's a mess right now. Should I trade CD and Kyron Williams? I would say no. CD is the best player in the deal. Barkley and Kyron are kind of tied for the second best player in the deal. So, like, you know, what do we do? I'd say definitely stand down from that. Your team looks good the way it is. Stand down, stand down, stand down. Pacheco is more than 2 weeks. We all watched his knee bend back. Yeah, probably BBQ. This would be one of those things where it gets dragged out longer and you're like, what? But, I mean, it was crazy. It looked like he tore his ACL. Definitely an MCL tear. I knew something was wrong. I put it on my Instagram, like, it's unbelievable he didn't tear his ACL. You know what it was is his knee got twisted, and if it would have caught for another millisecond, it would have snapped it. But as soon as his knee bent like this, it flicked back in the direction using the angle of that bend. It flicked back to get right where it needed to be before that ACL snapped. Now, keep in mind, they can go in and find that the ACL was stretched a little bit. There could be damage to it. But they looked at it, and right now it looks like it's the MCL. But day-to-day, we could find out more, though. Smith getting work, hopefully. Not buying Judkins. Happy talk. Day-to-day, be prepared. So BBQ is a little concerned about Judkins coming off the Week 9 bye, whether he'll be ready for Week 10. I hope you're wrong on that, but, you know, certainly we keep being misled on injuries. We keep being told, like, Bowers' injury back in, like, freaking week, 2? I'm fine. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bruisey poo. My knee's fine. And Bowers has literally been MIA from this nothing burger injury. So we never know. Smitty, potential blockbuster. I give up Drake, London, QJ, Jake Ferguson, and Judkins for Gibbs. Marvin Harris. Marvin Harris? Who the hell's Marvin Harris? You're getting screwed. We don't even know who Marvin Harris is, bro. Okay, so you give it up Drake London, QJ, and Jake Ferguson and Judkins. Giving up, you give up Judkins, Ferguson, London, and Judkins. Damn. For Gibbs, MHJ, and Tyler Warren. Woo! Give me Gibbs give me Gibbs, Marvin Harrison, Tyler Warren. Absolutely. And then I trade MHJ, this Marvin Harris character, with something else to upgrade something. Yeah, definitely, bro. I would definitely take Gibbs, MHJ, and Tyler Warren. It's not even close, to be honest. It's a little confusing to read, just because it's such a big trade and you're trying to grasp it. But once you grasp it, you're like, damn, that other side, that Gibbs side is giving me a bear hug. My running back 2 is Sharps, Woody, Harvey, Hendy, Tootin. Do I trade Harvey for Laporta? I don't think I do. You got Fannin. I know he's on a bye week, but let's not trade the monster that is maybe Harvey for a 1 week fill-in from a guy that hasn't even been getting targets. I like the idea of trading for Laporta on the cheap. I do, but I think that this is maybe not the move. I just don't think that's the move. I'm 3-5 with number 2 waiver pick. My running backs are Bucky, Rashad White, Rico. Love it. Chuba. Should I drop White and get Woody? Yeah. Yes, bro. Yes. Woody or Tracy. I go Woody. Get the woodmaster. Get the woodmaker. Get the wood specialist into the building. Get him into the facility doing woodwork. I have Baker too, so maybe use the pick on Stafford or Darnold. I'm fine going after one of those guys after, but go get the woodmaster. He's there to make wood. Let him do his job. Absolutely. Go get it going. Go get it cooking. We got a $20 hauler here from Sticky doing it live.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Sticky says 5-3 Hurts, Jamar, Buka, Bijan. Judkins was pulled from the game in the first, never returned. Yeah, we'll see, BBQ. I'm not loving the feel of it either. It definitely feels like it has a little tint of that. We kind of haven't been telling you everything. Let's call. Hey, Vegas, is it possible that Judkins is in play for Week 10? What kind of bets do you have on that? Nothing yet? Okay. Too early to tell. We'll call Vegas a little later to see what's in the script. Bijan, Kyron, Marks. Trade ideas for each wide receiver owner. JJ London. This is going to be hard to process in a super chat doing different teams, bro. My mind's not working quite that well on a jumping from 1 to 1. Trade ideas for each wide receiver owner. JJ London needs running back, tight end. Bro, this is going to be hard to process. JSN lost Scattaboo. Amon-Ra has Henry Judkins. Rice, running back. Travis Hunter. Good Lord, bro. I'm sorry this happened to you. Whatever the case this is, sorry it happened to you. Hope that you get better from it. We'll see you later. No, I'm just kidding. I'll try my best, Sticky. Let me put it back up on screen. It's like when I see a paragraph that's like this in the comments, someone's like, Smitty, hear me out. And I look at it and it's this long and I reply, sorry this happened to you, or glad this happened to you, regardless, however that applies. Jeez. Hurts, Jamar, Buka, Bijan, Kyron, Vidal, Marks, JCM. Okay. Trade ideas for each wide receiver owner. I love JJ. Am I trying to get JJ using Vidal and maybe Gadsden or Fannin? Sure. I think Vidal and Fannin specifically would be good. Gadsden and Vidal might need to be used, or Vidal and Marks. I don't know if JJ is attainable at that, but you can't really go after JJ for more than that. London, same thing. I'd be okay with it, but there's something to Vidal and Gadsden being better than London. So maybe it's more Fannin in that case. As far as this other one, JSN, you got to give up the full Monty for that, the Vidal and Gadsden. I don't know that would get it done for JSN, to be honest. I think Kyren and Fannin or Kyren and Gadsden might be required to go get JSN. And even then, I don't think you're getting it. But Gadsden and Kyren will be the asking price for sure. And you got Tyler Warren as well, so damn it, bro. I mean, you could throw Tyler Warren and Kyren in for JSN and something. You could throw Tyler Warren in for JJ. Tyler Warren and, let's say, Marks or Vidal for JJ. Understandable, but also understandable not to do it. As far as Amon-Ra St. Brown, all that same stuff applies. I love the idea of getting Henry or Judkins from him using Vidal. So if you could do Tyler Warren and let's say, so so Henry, Judkins, Amon-Ra owner doesn't necessarily need RBs. Although Judkins being hurt and on a bye might have him thinking about doing something weird this week. You know, you could trade Buka for Henry and then get Amon-Ra for Vidal and Gadsden, or Tyler Warren and Vidal. You could go that avenue. And the Rice owner, I don't even think it makes sense. I mean, what are you going to give him? Try Kyren and Gadsden for Rice. Is he going to even think about it? Would I take Tyler Warren, given you've got Gadsden, Tyler Warren, and Kyren for Rice? That's a lot. I don't know. Chat, would you rather have Rice or Tyler Warren and Kyren? Vote on that. Now, of course, I would give up Vidal and Tyler Warren for Rice, but he's not going to do it. You could offer it. Travis Hunter, you should be able to get Travis Hunter using just one of the tight ends not named Tyler Warren. And so that's Sticky. That's the best my mind can wrap my head around that. I think that's pretty helpful, though. I think it did pretty good, actually. Sticky, thank you for the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. $20 hauler from Sticky doing it. So it sounds like the chat is kind of torn. We got a one Rice vote, one Kyren Warren, one Rice vote, one Kyren Warren side. Sticky, it sounds like that's a sticky topic right there for the chat. So maybe if you want Rice, you could give up Kyren and a Gadsden. Or Kyren and a Tyler Warren would be tough, but it's doable, I suppose. 6-2, says Luis. Luis, congratulations on the 6-2, pal. Maybe you meant to couple that with this one. Although you're lucky I'm looking for it because I wouldn't have seen it. 6-2. Okay. That changes everything. Just kidding. Gibbs, Bucky, Harvey, Tootin, Chuba, Rice, Buka, Laddie, Myers, Jamo, Bowers, Gadsden, any moves. The only thing you should be even focused on is can you turn Gadsden or Bowers with maybe Ladd, and I love Ladd, or maybe Bucky, and I love Bucky, for an upgrade. Bucky to HM, Bucky to a player like that. Would I trade one of the tight ends for injured Judkins and give them back Chuba, Rashad White, or Harvey? I don't care if you have Bucky, I'd still give up Rashad White. Harvey and a tight end for, those are the only things that come to mind. Like trading one of the tight ends for Adams, trading one of the tight ends and Bucky for a Henry and a receiver potentially, but not just for Henry. Trading one of the tight ends and Bucky for Bijan, but not going to get it, but certainly you try. And you could throw in a little more if you needed to, but those are moves I would attempt to make. Look, Bowers and Bucky could maybe get you a bigger player than you think. You always could try, but you're 6-1 or 6-2. You don't necessarily need to do anything. Team looks really, really good. You got depth for days that'll help you during the bye weeks. Don't think you need to scramble much to do anything. Love the fact that you've cuffed Bucky, but I certainly would explore Henry and players like Barkley for Bucky if you feel more comfortable with that. Thank you for the blank $2 hauler, Nick. Appreciate you. You got to put the message in the question, otherwise I don't end up seeing any other peripheral messages. Would you trade Etienne and Gadsden for Garrett Wilson? No, I would not. I'd rather have Gadsden and Etienne over Garrett Wilson. I think Etienne's a little undervalued, especially if you can get your hands on Tootin. Trade my Jacobs for Lamar and Barkley. I would take Lamar and Barkley. Come on, bro. City, that's a lambasting. That's going to get vetoed in a league that doesn't even have vetoes, but certainly take the Lamar side. Traded, thank you for the question, and congrats if you get that. Traded Dart for Hunter and Spears or Ollie pickup. I'd definitely take Dart and turn that into Hunter and Spears for sure. Or Ollie pickup. I mean, I like Ollie. I don't know what that question is. Or Ollie pickup. I don't know what that means. You mean like drop Spears and pick up Ollie? I could go either way there. I think Spears has a little bit more value right now. Husseini says just dropped Pacheco for Tootin. I guess it was meant to be after all. And Marvin Harris character. Thank you. Appreciate it. Marvin Harris. Who the hell's Marvin Harris? Drop Jameson for Jalen Warren handcuff Gainwell. Drop Jordan Mason for Jalen Warren handcuff Gainwell. I'm fine with dropping Mason to get that situation cuffed, I suppose. Sure. But I mean, there are better pickups. Hopefully, you're not passing on Jalen Warren or Dowdle. Dowdle by a month. Come on, TDs. You been watching football lately? Jalen Warren or Dowdle? Dowdle to the mother freaking moon. Dowdle's going up, baby. Dowdle's a running back one, a low-end running back one. His head coach said, enough of this nonsense. Chuba who? Let's put Dowdle in there. He said, I'm giving Dowdle the job. Jalen Warren, Dowdle, come on. Do it live. Dowdle's one of the best buy low players right now in fantasy. Brother, I thank you. I think you missed my super chat. I don't think so, Lewis, but I appreciate you. And thank you for dropping another super chat to check on me. Lewis, I think we did take care of yours. Lewis, where was it, Lewis? Let's find it real quickly just to make sure. Just want to double check, make sure Lewis felt taken care of. Lewis, it's right here. You were next. But I did see your message. It's a little bit of a wait, Lewis. It's kind of like going to, the Olive Garden versus the 54 Steakhouse. Steakhouse is a little bit longer wait, but Lewis, when you get seated, you're going to enjoy yourself a lot better. I'll sit you by the fireplace. Right over here. Hold on. Let me move you over toward the fireplace. Nice seat for you. Lewis saved it for you. 12-man PPR, 4-4, 5th place. Lamar, Fields, Gibbs, RJ, Harvey, Sharps, Tajay, Benson, Manungai, Rice, Garrett Willie, T. Hunter, Tez, Warren, Fannin. So trade better at running back 2 or hold. You've got Fannin and Warren. Fannon's on a bye. You might have to eat the bye week this week, but look, Warren's a good trade piece if you need to make a move, or you trade Fannin for somebody that respects the value that is Fannin, and I say, I'll wait. So Gibbs and Lamar, let's not touch that. RJ, Harvey, Sharps, kind of crafty running back too. And Benson coming back. Manungai's crafty too. Part of me thinks that like over the next week or two, you'll get your running back too. And then if you make a trade, you're going to have to sit one of these players. But Rice, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, yeah, I don't know, man. I think, you're kind of in need at wide receivers. Well, if Garrett Wilson comes back this week and plays healthy, you're probably good. Hunter, Garrett Wilson, Rice. I like that after this bye week, Garrett Wilson. I think he should be. So Hunter, but this week you're kind of on the struggle bus at wide receiver 3. I don't know. I'm okay with maybe moving Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's so good. Try and move Fannin. Go to the Walker owner, Sharps and Fannin. Hopefully he's tight end. He needs a tight end. If not, go to the tight end needy teams. See what Fannin and RJ, even though I hate trading him, just see what he'll get you. See what Fannin and Sharps will get you. See what Fannin and Garrett Wilson will get you. See what Fannin and Manungai will get you. Go to the Swift owner. There's not a lot to move here, to be honest. If you end up plugging one of the holes in this boat, you're going to create another hole the same size somewhere else. So the question really isn't, should you get a running back too? It's, can you upgrade anything anywhere, and does it make sense to just do it? Regardless of it being you trade Garrett Wilson and Hunter, or Garrett Wilson and Fannin, or Garrett Wilson and Tyler Warren for JJ. The players that are massive upgrades in name, on paper, but maybe both, right? I mean, it could be that you're trading for a ghost that doesn't show up until 2026 that is JJ. It's a ghost of himself. It's possible, but honestly, I would take the gamble. If I was trading, let's say, Fannin and Garrett Wilson for JJ, or if I was trading Tyler Warren and Garrett Wilson for JJ and something, I'd be tempted. If I was trading Tyler Warren and Sharps to the Walker owner for Henry, I would do that. Something along those lines. Do I like Etienne and Tootin over Fannin and Sharps, or Fannin and Benson, or Fannin and Manungai, or Fannin and Tajay, et cetera, et cetera? Tajay's a good player to trade too, though. So Fannin and Tajay for, even if you were to go, let's solve this in a very small way. Fannin and Tajay for a flippin' Etienne, and then you go get Tootin somehow. Fannin and Tajay for Walker. And then you got Walker and Sharps, which feels safe, but it's also confusing. And, I don't know, bro. That's kind of the only thing you can do right now. There's not a lot of middle ground running backs out there. I think you got some ability to go use the Swift owner, needing to get that situation locked down. That could be to your advantage. Someone did Puka. That's crazy, bro. I already did that one, but thank you for the super chat. All right, let's get these super chats. We got Sheesh Coin with the $100 holler. Sheesh, everybody's pretty.
$100+ holler. Smitty. Everybody's pretty.
Sheesh Coin, appreciate your $100 hauler. You absolute straight savage. Michael, thank you for that $20 hauler. Canadian style, my boy. Sheesh Coin. Sheesh is dropping a wad. Sheesh. 12-team, 0.5 PPR, 2 wide receivers, 2 running back, 1 flex, QB, JD5, Lamb, Buka, Terry, Hunter, Bijan, Judkins, Dobbins, Harvey. Streaming was offered JCM and Dowdle for Judkins. Now, I love JCM as a player. I don't like his situation at all, but maybe JD5 fixes that. Maybe he doesn't. Can I get a chat vote on whether you like Dowdle or Judkins right now? I know that seems crazy to ask that question, but to BBQ's point, we don't know what Judkins will be coming off of the Week 9 Cleveland Browns bye. So my question is, maybe not do this straight up, but can you go back to the guy and go, come on, bro. I'm giving you hat trick Judkins for Dowdle, even though we like Dowdle. Give me more. So I'm going to say negative on the trade, but I like the concept and idea and where it maybe goes if JCM swapped out for a better player. So thoughts, do I drop a Giants running back or do I load drop on the Giants running back Tracy? Any moves? I load drop on Woody Marks more than I load drop on Tracy, but Hendy Harvey as well. If you're talking about, getting that value of a player that I think everybody in Harvey and Hendy are completely undervaluing, and there's so much value there. But yeah, I would say, can we get something else with Rico? We got a kind of a split decision here, though. A lot of people want Rico, Judkins, Rico, Judkins, kind of torn, but I just think the value of Judkins is higher. So, and I don't like the JCM piece here. So I'm going to tell you to go navigate this, keep doing it live, but make sure you take advantage of this opportunity if you can get that extra piece or player. We got a $50 hauler from Flea Nice.
Give me $50 hauler.
Yeah, so Sheesh, I hear you. He's offering JCM. I'm saying, can you counter? And what other player? Sheesh Coin, what other players does he have? That maybe he's got JMO. Maybe he's got a freaking Monty. Maybe he's got, Harvey. Maybe he's got Hendy. Maybe I just want somebody else than JCM. Can you give me a list of players you think you could swap out for JCM? That's my point. Flea Nice, the greatest. What? The greatest. Groot. What? Team ever has now moved to 9-7. The greatest. What does that say? Groot team. Not Groot. Oh, not Groot. Like Groot. Like Groot. Like Groot from the TV show or from the movie. Yeah, okay, 9-7. Flea Nice keeps doing it with no running backs. It's amazing. We play 2 games a week, full PPR, need 2 running backs and a flex. Woody, Harvey, Hendy, Spears, and Bill. And Flacco and Chase will crush again. Okay, so he needs 2 running backs and a flex. We're going to go Woody. We're going to go hot hand Harvey. The matchup's rough, though. I'd probably say Spears over Hendy until we get more of a secure feel of him, that 70 yards off 10 carries, if that's a norm moving forward. I think, Flea Nice, you ask the Hendy Spears question again later in the week, but I'm going to lock in Woody and Harvey. You got to play them, bro. They keep doing it for you. Thank you for the 50. So let's vote on that second part of it later in the week, because it's just too close. I would say right now Spears feels pretty darn good for workload in that situation you're in. Thoughts on Dart rest of season? Kind of think he's going to be hit and miss as he's navigating without Scat, and he's probably, shaken a little bit. He's lost Neighbors, he's lost Scat. I mean, I think it's inevitable for him to be kind of up and down, but I do like him. $20 hauler. Hey, love the live 12-team PPR. Chase, Igbuka, Rice, Addison, Diggs, Olave, Genty, Hall, White, Mixon, QB, Hurts, tight end Warren. I got offered Allen and Sharps and Walker and Dobbs for Addison, Hurts, and Hall. Woo! Woo! So Hurts has been playing amazing. Credit where credit's due. He's been balling out lately, throwing and rushing. So hats off to him. We'll see what happens when that tush push gets eliminated next year, though. What the value is going to look like when he's one-dimensional. Right now, you're worried about everything with Hurts. I think, look, got offered Allen, Sharps, and Walker for Dobbs for Addison, Hurts, and Hall. I think, chat, Josh Allen, Sharps, and Walker, and Dobbs, or do you like Hurts and Hall? I like Hall more than I like Walker and Sharps, but that could change with one injury to Walker or a trade and turn into two different players. They could just turn like Dowdle's getting turned to and Chuba's getting sent to the bench essentially. That could happen with one of these running backs in Seattle, although I don't know. They keep doing it well, and so it's like, what's going to change? Chat, please vote. This is near dead even. Hurts and Breece Hall and Addison. That seems like the safer side, even though I love Josh Allen. Hurts keeps delivering. I think the chat's going to say Hurts. It's pretty much getting the vote so far. Hurts. You're going to keep the Hurts side, bro. Could it change if you maneuvered one small thing out of the trade or in the trade? Maybe, yeah. My team's 4-4 comfortably in the playoff spot, but I'm stuck playing Wandell in the flex until Hendy shows up. Trade Jamar for Nico and Igbuka. I would probably take Nico and Igbuka for Jamar Chase. That is quite a bit of talent. I know Jamar's Jamar. I get it. The only thing I'd say is that you're volatile to Flacco staying healthy. And even though he's getting targeted more than I think a receiver's ever been targeted in their life, I still think Igbuka or Nico, one of those guys can hang. And if the other one also hangs, you're exploding in value. And you're 4-4 with Jamar. You're 4-4 with Jamar. It's not like you're saying in a playoff spot because your records might be, devastated. But yeah, 4-4 in a comfy grandma league. 4-4. We're locked in, Smitty. We're at 4-4. We're good. We're coasting. Cruise control. In fact, I don't even need to set my line. It's funny. Some leagues are like that. Some leagues are just complete tie. I can't imagine being locked in comfortably, but you're probably one spot in the playoffs race. One loss and you're out of it. But anyway, I think that you're 4-4 with Jamar Chase. You're not coasting at all. You need to make this move, in my opinion. It's a good move to make for a 4-4 team that's not doing it live. You're okay. You're almost doing it live, but you're not fully doing it live. 5-3, Knicks, Dart, Bijan, Bucky, Woody, JSN, Rice. Wow, Ladd, Adunze, Gadsden, Fannin. Trade Ladd or Adunze in a cheap running. Oh, I already did this one. Didn't I? For a cheap running back. Debating Adams, Nico, or CDJJ may be a running back. Thoughts on a move? Let me just answer it again and just say Ladd or Adunze in a cheap running back. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love Ladd. Ladd or Adunze for I mean, I like Henry. I like Kyron. I like Achan. I like Henry. You kind of get cut off there, though, bro. Like, that's where it kind of dies for the running backs. There's not a lot of in between anymore. So, certainly wouldn't mind doing that, but don't overpay for like a running back below that. And Javonte might qualify as well. A couple more players might qualify. You're obviously not going to get some of the big dogs, but 12-man full PPR, 4-4, 5-ish place, 7 advance. Lamar, Fields, Gibbs, RJ Harvey, Fannin, Warren. Okay, Travis Hunter. Trade for a better running back 2 or hold. Might have answered this one too as well, but Tajay is a good trade piece. Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I did answer this one. Tez, Warren, Fannin. Yeah, we took care of this, Lewis. This is the one where you said I didn't get to it. All right. 7, appreciate you. Mahomes, Bijan, Achane, Buka, Worthy, Wilson, McBride, Jamo, Hampton, Vidal, Ollie, Sharps. Trade Bijan and Worthy for Barkley and Rice. Bijan and Worthy for Barkley and Rice. Woo, doggy. I'd probably take Barkley and Rice. You call me crazy, whatever. Rice is so good. Bijan's amazing. Worthy's pretty good. But Barkley could rival Bijan. Not saying I'd take Barkley over Bijan. That's not what I'm saying. But Barkley could rival Bijan going forward. Or Rice could rival Bijan going forward, meaning that the other one's blowing away Worthy. It's tough. Chat, vote on it. But the other thing I'd say, too, is if you got 6 or 7 wins with Bijan, I guess don't make any trades. Like, don't make any trades. If you've got 7 wins, 6 wins, it's working. But if you're 5 wins or below, or especially 4 or below, I mean, you might need to make a move, and this move's pretty damn good. Move 3 and 5 moves, 12 team, 2 wide receivers. Also have Christian Watson, Hawkinson. Okay. Dimes, Amon-Ra, Nico, Pickens. It's a good team. I guess I'm just exploring whether I could get another running back. Honestly, I'm okay with Woody as my running back too. So if I could trade, let's say, I don't know, Brees and Pickens for like one monster, I would do it. But what are you going to, can you get Achane? Can Brees and Pickens get you Achane and something? Because I think Achane straight up is probably not enough, actually. Because Pickens and Brees is it's a pretty high firepower. I'd say you try and get Achane in something crafty that maybe he doesn't like Jamo, and then you're good. If you were to go get a Henry, you could get another piece with it. Genty and another piece. I don't know. This almost has to be a crafty 2 for 2. I don't think there's a lot to trade here. If you traded Amon-Ra high, you could go after Adams and a running back like a Chase Brown, Kyron and a wide receiver, Henry and a wide receiver, Barkley and a wide receiver, Genty and a wide receiver for St. Brown. Just make sure that wide receiver is great. You'll have to bring it back to me to make sure it's Smitty approved wide out. Need a wide receiver. Also need to flex Seattle running backs, Jamo, Dobbs. Never ender, need a wide receiver and a flex. Well, if you need a wide receiver, then you only have Dobbs listed. Or no, Jamo. I'd go Jamo personally, and then I'd probably say Charbonnet. He's scoring. I mean, but it's a close call, bro. It really is. Smitty, what is the first year you played fantasy football? I believe it was 1992 or 3. 1990, I think it was 1993. It was magazines. It was magazines in a newspaper. There's no internet yet. Internet was about 1990. I mean, it was in 1995, 96, but like widely used by schools and people have a computer. We're talking with internet connection, 1996 to 97. So 93, 92, 93, it was all newspaper. Monday morning, you get there, you calculate it. You'd have the Monday night games pending. You get to the library. You get to the library with the newspaper off the wood rack, and you look at the box scores. You'd be a box score Bobby. So I've been playing it forever, bro. Professionally, been doing it 24 years, though. I think 24 or 25, something like that. Trade Woody for Jamo in a 0.5. Give me Woody. Own CMC car. Give me Woody. Jamo's a very buy low, like waiver wire player right now. So Woody's got more value. Don't do that. Who would have more value rest of the season? JCM, Sharps, or Tracy? I'd say Tracy's the safest. Sharps higher risk, higher reward, but Tracy and Sharps by far and away over JCM right now. Unfortunately, I would pick Sharps because I think he's got league winning potential if he gets into the lineup, my boy. DMO, appreciate your super chat here. Traded Quan last week for Chase Brown, AJ Brown, and McBride. What do I do now with I don't mind that trade, I suppose. Chase, I mean, it's fine. Chase Brown, Mason, Davis, Puka, Buka, London, AJB. If you can use all those wide receivers, AJB and up, then I think, you kind of just stand down and use that rotation at running back and just hope that Sharps does well. If not, then you're going to the Walker owner and you're trying to trade Sharps and London probably is the only receiver I want to trade. Or I'm sorry, AJB. I'd probably keep London over AJB, to be honest, because now AJB's, I don't know. We don't know how bad he's hurt. Like, I just don't trust him. But Kittle, McBride, I'm trading one of those tight ends for an Adam, or for you need a running back. Henry, Kyron, Bucky, Judkins, Achane, Javonte, Chase Brown. You got Chase Brown, that's right. Genty, maybe. So McBride or Kittle needs to move. So McBride or Kittle, if you can play all 4 wide receivers, then you could keep them and just trade McBride or Kittle. Or you could trade McBride or Kittle with Sharps to the Walker owner for one running back, or McBride or Kittle with AJB for a monster running back and do a 2-for-2, depending on, who you're getting. You don't want to give up too much. You want to make sure you're getting enough value back. 2 and 5 Superflex about to get hit with the buys. 2 and 5 getting hit with buys sounds bad. Thoughts on this trade? I received Caleb, Franklin, and Downs. I sent Penix, Ibuka, Burden. No, bro. Not at all. Absolutely not. Penix Jr., Ibuka, Burden. You're giving away Ibuka. I don't care if you're hitting buy. You don't just, who's the highest bidder? Take my Ibuka. No, absolutely not. If I'm making a move, for trading Ibuka away, I'm going and getting Adams and something. If I'm trading Ibuka away, I'm going and getting Henry or Chase Brown and something. Like Ibuka didn't take a hit in value. And if he did in the eyes of whoever's you're talking to, then you need to walk away from them. QB's Bo Nix, other wide receivers are Pickens, MHJ. Maybe you trade an MHJ and a running back for, I don't know. This is a tough one. I'd probably say I am trying to move MHJ. I just don't know how much value he has. Really doesn't have much value. But this is not it, bro. Get Buka out of this trade. Get Buka out of this trade. I don't even know if I'd trade this if you threw MHJ into it. Like, what are we doing here? This trade is not nonsensical, ET. Try and, you could go after like a Monty or freaking ETN right now using MHJ and something potentially, but don't go trading Buka. What are we doing there? Gary with the $100 hauler. Everybody's pretty. Everybody.
$100+ hauler. Smitty. Everybody's pretty. $100+.
Do I trade JJ for Monty and Garrett Wilson at 3 and 5? No, I do not, Gary. I do not. JJ needs to be treated as JJ. And unfortunately, he hasn't played to that level, but it doesn't mean we're trading him. Monty doesn't move the needle for me. I like Monty. I don't love Monty. Would I take Monty? Yes. Garrett Wilson's going on a bye and ambiguous injury still. Probably comes back, but no guarantees. 0 chance I'm doing this trade. Would I trade JJ for, like, if your target was, let's say, Devontae Adams, you still get an additional piece, right? So you're getting maybe a ETN. If ETN's your target, you're getting an Adams, or you're getting a wide receiver that makes a ton of sense, like Lab McConkey or something. And you'd have to have Tootin as well. Like, those would be creative ways to get rid of JJ. Derrick Henry and maybe even something small, or maybe straight up Derrick Henry or Barkley for JJ. Bucky injured with another little side piece. Kyron Williams and maybe straight up for JJ if you needed a running back. Judkins injured and on a bye with an additional player like a Lad McConkey-esque type of player would be crafty for JJ. Those are the only kinds of moves you should be doing that involve JJ. He is a monster. He should be treated like a top 5 wide receiver. I just, there's no way I'm using and sending off that bargaining chip. Worldwide, appreciate you. Got Josh Allen and May. What can I trade May for? Devontae Adams. Buka on a bye. JJ. ETN. Dowdle straight up. Dowdle's another one. Go for Gary. Gary, go get using JJ Dowdle and a wide receiver. But Drake May for Dowdle, Drake May for Bucky injured, Drake May for ETN and Tootin, or if you have Tootin, ETN makes some sense. Maybe you get more. Drake May for Judkins injured and on a bye. Drake May for Genty off the bye. Drake May for Kyron. Drake May for Henry. Drake May for Buka going on a bye. Drake May for injured Nico coming off the injury. Drake May for Adams. All those make sense worldwide. I do any one of those to a degree, some more than others. 10-man full PPR, 14-man PPR, 5 and 3, 3 L's combined by 9 points. QB, JD5, Amon-Ra, Rice, Quentin Johnston, Jacoby, Taylor, Tracy, Rico, Woody, Lost, Connor, Ertz, Pinheiro, Rams, Eagles. The receivers are, I would have traded Quentin Johnston the first chance I got. You're stuck with him. I hope you like him. Taylor, Tracy, Rico. Love Rico in Taylor. Can we put Rico ahead of Tracy? It's disrespectful to list Tracy in front of Rico. You got Woody. I would use the value of Tracy right now to my advantage, and I would trade that if I can. So like Tracy and maybe you could try Quentin Johnston. Tracy and Quentin Johnston for just one slightly lateral wide receiver. Just the added bonus of the two players might get you into something. Let's say you went after Pickens. Let's say you went after a ETN, Dowdle, Pickens. Those are ones that come to mind, bro. Those would be fantastic. Dowdle. I'm going to do a whole video tonight on Dowdle. I think the lead topic tonight might be Dowdle. Smitty, I went mental and traded JT for Lamb and Warren. Bro, it's Esteban. What do you do, Esteban? This is not the first time you've mentioned a bad trade in here tonight. I went mental and traded JT for Lamb and Warren. Tell me there's hope. Why'd you do that? It's not that Lamb's not great, but JT's it's about what you can get. It's fair market value. In some cases, like let's say you're worried about JT getting injured. You just asked us about JT, I thought, and you had him. Did you just do that now without checking with me? Or is this in another league? Look, JT, it's about fair market value. You can get the world for JT right now. The world. You could get CeeDee Lamb and a mother freaking, I don't know, a running back too. You could get Dowdle and CeeDee Lamb. Like that's what I maybe consider a Dowdle and a CeeDee Lamb. But man, Jalen Warren. You do have to take a lap. That's for sure.
Take a lap.
Bijan, Marks, Tootin, Warren. Do you see what you did? You listed your running backs. Bijan, Marks, Tootin, Warren. The guy you just made this trade for. You downgraded, and I like Lamb, but you downgraded Lamb for a guy that you couldn't even list as your third running back. You got to think about that. You're trading just to trade, Esteban. You're bored. You need to log out of your app and not. Look, could Lamb be better than JT moving forward? It's certainly possible. The fair market value that's what it's about. It commands more. That's the point here. It's not about what could happen. Could you be okay? Absolutely. Should you not play this team anymore and just walk away from? No. Like, Lamb could be as good, for sure, but you definitely did not take advantage of the market. You bought a $400,000 house for $500,000, or better yet, you sold your $400,000 house for $300,000. JT owner wanting to trade for my Achan and Amon-Ra. Yeah, my team. I mean, your Achan and Amon-Ra is too much to give for JT. Way too much. So you'd have to get something back from him. So without that information, I don't know what he has. It'd have to be something significant, like Dowdle. So JT owner is giving you, and you're talking about a wide receiver, it would have to be Adams, like JT and Adams for Achan and Amon. It'd have to be some sort of significant player. I'd have to know the difference or the players involved in order to give you the best advice on that. I don't know the answer. Love, Kyler, Genty, Hall, Vidal, RJ. Any good trade targets? Keeping Puka. Hendy is on waivers. Grab Hendy. Oh, you four running back max. I got you. Yeah, you can't really cut those guys, I guess. I don't know. This is a good team. Rice, Puka, maybe Garrett Wilson, BTJ, and MHJ, and then a tight end. So Bowers or Gadsden with BTJ, Bowers or Gadsden with Garrett Wilson, Bowers or Gadsden with MHJ, to just get that one better wide receiver, that or potentially make it a 3-play. Hard to do a 3-player trade, but you could try throwing in Hall or Vidal or Genty and upgrading that player. So like Genty and Bowers, Genty and Gadsden maybe for a slightly better running back. I don't even know if you could maybe do a Genty, Garrett Wilson, and Gadsden for like Bijan, or trade Garrett Wilson and one of the tight ends for JJ. Probably go down that avenue, XD. That'd be a really good move. Appreciate you very much for the super chat. 5-3, 10-team PPR team is Knicks, Genty, Vidal, London, Wilson, Hendy, Pitts, Fannin, Sharbs, Hunter, Hampton. Any trades? Like the team, like the other person that just asked this question, or asked a question like this, you've got good trade value in maybe Garrett Wilson just because people are hurting. They look at him, they say this is a potential one. He's going on a bye and still kind of a question. So maybe you're trading Garrett Wilson. Well, you could also wait on him too, but maybe you're trading Garrett Wilson and Genty for just some monster running back upgrade. Maybe you're trading Garrett Wilson and potentially Vidal for a monster running back upgrade. So Vidal and Garrett Wilson for Henry and something for Barkley and something for Achane and something for Kyron and something would kind of be where I go and I head. Now, you're going to have to take a crafty second player or otherwise the deal's going to look like you're trying to upgrade both spots. So you have to get crafty, buy low on somebody. But I like this team a lot. I mean, you could trade Fannin or Pitts to a very tight end needy team. That's certainly possible. But I don't know. This is a pretty solid team. I don't know if it's the league winner, but it really kind of comes down to Hendy, Charbonnet, Hunter, and Wilson. You got a lot of depth. If any of those players explode, then you could win it all. But you also could try and move Charbonnet to the Walker owner or Hunter because he's on your bench, or Garrett Wilson and put Hunter in your lineup. Try and upgrade Vidal using Hunter or Garrett Wilson maybe is the best avenue to get a slightly better running back. Man, you got a lot of depth, though. It's a good team. And waiting one more week, assuming your trade deadline is not this weekend, waiting one more week isn't a bad idea either, because some of those values like Hunter are going to go up. Vidal's going to gain even more value. You might be a candidate to wait. $100 holler. Everybody's pretty.
$100+ holler. Smitty. Everybody's pretty.
Look at my guy dropping another wad. Okay, Jefferson for Dobbins and Adams got Dart, JT. Did you get it done? No. Dobbins and Adams. No. That's not good enough. I thought you were getting JJ here when I was reading that. No. Gary, did you do this? I don't like Dobbins. Dobbins is not somebody I mentioned. Got Dart, JT, Marks, Hendy, Rice, JJ, Adunze, Gadsden are my main players. Don't do this. Gary, you didn't do it yet, right? No. I look, JK's okay, but JK's getting like 100 yards. He's playing well, but that's 10 points, bro. Unless you're in a bonus league, doesn't even matter. No way. Should you? Okay, good. No. Dobbins is not enough. JJ for Adams and another running back, like, let's say, at the caliber of Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Javonte Williams, Breece Hall. Those are the only level of running back. Jacobs. ETN would maybe be okay if you got Tootin in the deal or you had Tootin, but even that's like borderline. Jacobs would be okay. A lot of people are freaking out on Jacobs. Gary, do not do this trade. JJ, do not trade your bargaining piece. But I do love the idea of sending him off for Adams. Should you be able to get a Hall, a Javonte, a Chase Brown, a Henry, a injured Judkins, try that. I don't know what this guy has. Try all any of those names. ETN would work. And if not Adams, go to those teams. Judkins injured. Henry, Barkley, Javonte, ETN, Jacobs. See what wide receiver they have that can be equivalent to Adams. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for being pretty, Gary. Smitty, trade my Sutton and Tracy for Dowdle. I don't like that, Husseini. I love that.
You've just been.
Go get Dowdle, young man, and do it live. Husseini, you get this done. We quit our jobs. We come work for you. Is Marks and Dowdle close rest of season? It could be. I'd rather have Dowdle, but it very well could be. Don't write off Marks being that good, but I'd take Dowdle in a heartbeat. Start one, Stafford or Dart or Nick. Stafford this week, because Nick's has a very tough matchup, but that doesn't mean we run away from him. Smitty, trade Brees and Rome for St. Brown and Warren. I would rather have St. Brown and Warren, but then I flip Warren. But it's close. Brees and Rome's pretty good. I just think St. Brown is better. Brees is, I love Brees, but he lives in a volatile world. Give me St. Brown, and then I flip Warren. If you can flip Warren, it ends up being a better situation. But if you don't flip Warren, then maybe not. It could end up being worse. But I take the gamble. Should I accept a trade guy offering Cooks? You mean Cook or Cooks? Brandon Cooks. You shouldn't be getting Brandon Cooks, Martin. Brandon Cooks ain't nothing, bro. He's done. He's toast. If you mean James Cook and Brian Thomas for Pickens, Swift, and Marks, I'd take James Cook and Brian Thomas. And then I look to maybe flip Brian Thomas potentially. But just make sure you're not getting, tricked into trading for James Cook. 2 QB mandatory, not super flex. 2 QB mandatory. 2 QB mandatory, not super. So these are tough because 2 QB mandatory there's a difference between Superflex and 2 QB. 2 QB is so much harder because you can't Superflex someone else. Just trade Daniel Jones and Jacobs and Laporta for Geno, Gibbs, and Devontae. Look, it is what it is, bro. You had the Kyler and Penix, I think, was the QBs that you also had. Have Kittle at tight end already. Thoughts on it? I love it, man. I mean, I love Daniel Jones. No doubt about it. Indiana Jones, love it. I've been watching Indiana Jones on TV a little more, too, when it comes on and I see it. I'm like, oh, that's just making me want to watch. I don't know why. It just makes me want to watch Indiana Jones. I'm so excited for him. But this is a good trade. Gibbs, Devontae, you smash it. And that boy, I think this is the same trade, but you crush it. And you got the quarterbacks to support that, I believe, if I remember correctly. So you're fine. I hate losing Daniel Jones, Dr. Jones, but it is what it is, bro. You got Gibbs. Trade Rice and Chase Brown for Woody, Buka, and Gadsden. No, I'm not trading Rice and Chase Brown. That's a negative on that one, bro. That's an absolute negative. No say nada. 5th place, 10-team. Danny Dimes, Christian McCaffrey, Rashad White, Rice, Jettas, Gadsden, Higgins, Worthy, bench, JD5, Nico, fan, a Debo fan, and Pitts. Need a running back, any moves? I'd probably say you're exploring trading CMC, bro, for that double monster duo. The Barkley Henry might not be in the cards anymore. I've been telling everybody trade CMC for Barkley or Henry and then get that additional wide receiver like Nico, whatever. And I know I think you got Nico on this team, but you know what I'm saying? Now that those running backs are off the table, Kyron, Achane, injured Bucky, maybe injured Judkins if you want to take a little gamble, Henry, Chase Brown, I suppose, and then what wide receiver are you getting? It has to be a monster or you don't trade Christian McCaffrey. As far as other moves to make, I would say, look, Nico, is back in the saddle, and so you really should have Nico coming off of this concussion in this lineup. I'm sure you will, but I don't know why you're listing him here. So you're probably trading Higgins or Worthy. Higgins or Worthy with maybe I don't know, you could take a gamble on Fannin as your starter. I know he's on a bye, but you throw Pitts in. But Gadsden and Worthy, Gadsden and Higgins could maybe get you the running back that you need. And maybe that's a Kyron. Maybe Gadsden and mother flipping Rashad White, or Gadsden and mother flipping Higgins. Gadsden and mother flipping Worthy gets you a Kyron, gets you an injured Bucky, and then you keep Rashad White, I suppose, in that situation. An injured Judkins on a bye week. Those are the only options, I think. Chase Brown potentially. All in the cards, I think, at that level. Pick one to keep on the roster. Mason, Tootin, Bam, It's Tootin. It doesn't matter. It's Tootin, bro. Vlad, I keep telling you, Tootin's a league winner. You keep asking me about Tootin over and over and over. Like, I don't think you believe me. I don't think you believe I like him. Have Rice, Lamb, Puka, Pickens, and Dunze. No one won't trade with me or with a running back. Have Judkins, Hall, Walker, Benson, Krosky, Merritt, Allen, Dak, QB need help. Have Rice, Lamb, Puka. You're fantastic, bro. So, honestly, with the bye weeks coming up, you'll probably be okay not making trades. But, of course, I'm trying to trade. I'm not trading Puka, not trading Rice, not trading Lamb. And if I had to pick, I would say keep Pickens over a Dunze. But trade either a Dunze or Pickens. Your running backs are fine, but I'm trading one of those guys, Benson, Walker, Hall, one of those to upgrade. So if I trade, like, let's say a Dunze and Hall for Barkley or Henry, or you could trade a Dunze for Genty. You could trade a Dunze and Hall for Henry and something for Judkins injured might be a good player to go after. You could probably go off Pickens or a Dunze with something small like Benson, or you could throw Walker at that. Maybe not Hall, but you could throw Walker at that to try and get an injured Judkins. Jacobs is very cheap right now. ETN would be the one wide receiver at Dunze or Pickens for ETN straight up. Then make sure you get Tootin somehow. That would be the easiest way, I think. ETN's very cheap. No one's trading a running back. Try ETN. Try Jacobs. Those are the two most attainable running backs right now. Fifth place, 10 team, full PPR. Danny. Oh, I just did this one. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate your super chat. This one here, 10 team, full PPR, 3 and 5. Burrow, Daniel Jones, Dart, Kyron, Bucky, White, Harvey, Hendy, Sharbs, Chase, Jamar Chase, Addison, Hunter, Booty, Gadsden. Got offered Puka and Genty for Chase and Kyron. I would take Chase and Kyron. Not very close. I like Genty, of course I do, but I trust Kyron a lot more. So let's take that move. That's a nice upgrade there. $10 hauler, 12 team full PPR 2 flex, 3 and 5 QB Baker, Kyron, Judkins, Scat. Sorry about Scat. Chase Brown, Dowdle. Running backs are off the hook. Rushy, Rice, Garrett Wilson, Flowers, MHJ, Addison. Crafty wide receivers. Just lost Scat. Have depth, but I think I need a trade. I don't know that you do. I think, Judkins being hurt, that sucks, but you got Dowdle and Chase Brown and Woody right now. You're fine. Would I consider trading like Benson and maybe a Garrett Wilson to just upgrade to JJ? Would I consider trading Woody and Garrett Wilson for JJ? Would I consider trading Dowdle and Garrett Wilson for JJ or something? Maybe. I want something if I threw Dowdle in. I kind of dislike what you got. I maybe try and explore maybe like a Woody or Benson to upgrade MHJ, Flowers, or Garrett Wilson. I think that's all I want to do. Adams, Flowers up to Adams, MHJ up to Adams. Nico, would I take Nico over, let's say, MHJ and Woody? Yeah. Benson? Yeah. Dowdle and MHJ, or Dowdle and MHJ for JJ, I do. Those would all be pretty solid and somewhat easy trades to pull off, I think. Nico, Buka as well. Would you trade my Genty for Bucky and Vidal? I would take Bucky and Vidal for sure, bro. I mean, Vidal might outscore Genty. It's crazy to say it's the Raiders' fault, not Genty's fault, but it is what it is. You got to recognize the situation. You're getting two players there, bro. 10-team, Mahomes, Knicks, Kyron, Brees, Chase Brown, Sharbs, CD, Rice, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Golden. Love the team. Been trying to make moves for running back, potential moves. Yeah, you're probably going to try and keep Chase Brown and Kyron. Shop Brees, Sharbs, and don't trade Rice or CD. So Brees or Charbonnet with Garrett Wilson or Debo for just one monster. I'm JJ hunting. I'm potentially Kyron hunting. I'm or you got Kyron. I'm Henry or Barkley hunting. I'm potentially looking at maybe moving Debo and Sharps to the Walker owner, or Garrett Wilson and Sharps to the Walker owner to try and get that like Jacobs, undervalued Jacobs player. Had typos earlier. Full PPR, 2 running back and 1 flex. Harvey, Woody, Sharp, Spears, Hendy, Bill. Flea Nice says, okay, 2 running backs and 1 flex. I'm going to go Woody and Harvey, and then I'm probably going to go Sharps. Final answer for my 3 players for sure. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even like waiting. I like Spears, but I still believe Sharps is doing it, live every week. He keeps scoring, bro. So bummed about losing Scat. I'm sorry. Absolute superstar on my 0 running back draft strategy. Sorry, Booty. Appreciate you with your super chat. I'm looking cooked. Henderson showed up slightly to give me hope. Fool's gold, or is his breakout coming? I'll be honest with you. I don't know that we have signs of a breakout because he did get 10 carries for 70 yards, 7 yards a pop. Did fumble at the end, then he didn't return to the lineup. And so there's some concern that it's not going to happen yet, but I do believe eventually he will. The question is, will your team still be in the mix by the time he does it? I don't know. I can't answer that, but I'd say don't cut him. I still have faith in him. I still love the kid. It's not his fault at all. He's an absolute savage. And it's just like the Bijan stuff. You know, we knew Bijan was going to be as good as Bijan was, and Arthur Smith just wouldn't play him. And he was running back 9 at the end of it all, but Arthur Smith just tried to botch that, and it was so frustrating to watch. Phil 3, Ramondre, Sharps, Ridley, Bam, Kupp, Watson. Gonna go Sharps. I'm gonna go probably Ramondre and probably Bam, I guess, for safety. But you might want to ask that later in the week when we have more news on like Bam and such. Dimes, Rice, London, Buka. Thank you, JB. Sharps, Hendy, Tyler Warren just lost Scat. Trade or hold at 3 and 5. Probably going to say with this wide receiver room, you could trade one of them unless you can start all 4. If you can start all 4, I think I just hold. I think your team's just coming around. London's been up and down. Buka hasn't been pulling his weight. Nico's been hurt. Judkins is hurt on a bye. Dowdle's, not getting the volume last week, but he is now. Vidal's fantastic. I think you got a really good team. Tyler Warren, I probably hold on this team. You got such a crafty squad that could come around and the values could change too in a very positive direction for you. I'm going to say hold that team. That's a crafty looking team, bro. That's really wild how good that team looks. And it's like all a bunch of like, I don't want to say B-level players, but it's like you're cruising in some ways that team's very solid. Wait a week and you got some trade bait. 3 and 5 got offered ETN and more for London. I'd rather have London. Bye week out of the way. Like ETN, I buy ETN low. Not interested in DJ Moore, but ETN low. London's higher than that. Same offer for Buka. I'd rather have Buka over ETN and Moore by a landslide. Starting Hendy and Mason as Judkins and Bucky are on a bye. It is what it is. It's 1 week. Would I take Javonte for London? Sure. I'd do that one straight up or try and do some creative 2 for 2 potentially, but yeah, but no, bro, don't start taking ETN seller dweller buy low. I love buying them low, but he's seller dweller. Smitty, if Dowdle owner says no to Sutton Tracy, offer what? What about Chase Brown or Vidal or ETN? If the Dowdle owner says no, I would definitely take Chase Brown. Sutton Tracy for Vidal, I'd probably consider that if you could get something else in return, but it depends on what it is. And I would take ETN if you could get Tootin. And I would honestly, I don't mind taking the gamble on ETN Husseini. It's a gamble though. It's definitely more of a gamble. Like I don't want you to be mad at me if ETN doesn't do anything and Tootin just starts and you don't end up getting Tootin. You thought you could and you end up, you know what I mean? Like it's a gamble. But ETN coming off, he had some bad matchups. And so if you had ETN and Tootin, I do like that more than Sutton Tracy. But Sutton Tracy's still solid. Like you don't have to force this trade. But I take Dowdle, I take Chase Brown for sure, and I take ETN if you can get Tootin. Not sure if you noticed during the Broncos game when Dobbins was pulled for Harvey, he looked miffed and was shaking his head a couple times. You mean like concussed or pissed off, BBQ, or both? Got Judkins for DK Spears. Aubrey, did I overpay? I don't think so. There's concern as we've been talking about that maybe Judkins doesn't come back after the week 9 bye, this upcoming week 9 bye, and he doesn't play. You got to understand the risk level you're taking on there. But I don't know. DK's good, but DK seems underutilized. And so I probably would rather have Judkins. I take the gamble on Judkins. BBQ says pissed off. Good. I hope it gets in his head. I hope Harvey gets... Look, anybody with a brain will admit that Judkins looks pretty good. I'll admit that. He looks pretty good. Judkins looks pretty good. I would say he looks like... I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right example of a player that looks also pretty good out there. Let's see if I can come up with something. Like Monty looks good. Monty doesn't look bad. He looks good whenever he runs the ball. J.K. Dobbins looks good. He's pretty efficient. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes in choosing rushing lanes, and I think that's what they love about him. but Harvey looks electric. Harvey can't be tackled. Harvey's weaving in and out of lanes of traffic, finding a new rushing lane that was never there. He invented the rushing lane that he's taking next. Harvey's impossible to tackle. It's a difference maker. So I just hope we see Harvey do what we predicted him to do before the season's up and do it on a consistent level. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. All the hate. I don't really get so mad about the hate that comes this way when something doesn't go right. Did I make mistakes this offseason? Yeah. You know, I didn't expect Vrabel to spend a high draft capital selection on Hendy and not use him. And Hendy looked like a world star in the preseason. And you could say preseason. It doesn't matter. Hendy was delivering and looking like a monster. And I can't help that Vrabel didn't use him. Am I frustrated? Absolutely. And when I look at Harvey, I see the same thing. I know I'm right on Hendy and Harvey on the talent. It's just so frustrating, just like it was Bijan's rookie year when we said he's running back one and everyone's like, you're a joke. What kind of show is this? Bijan's barely a top 10 running back. We knew. And we couldn't control Arthur Smith either. And that wasn't that predictable back then. It wasn't, because he had just taken Algier and turned him into a top 10, top 12 running back. Harvey's the guy. He's him. Hendy is him. I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Harvey and Hendy are them. They are them. Some things you can't control. It is what it is. I wish it was easier to predict some of these uncontrollable factors too. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not. Everybody's going to say it's because you went near rookies. It's not because they're rookies. It's the rookies were in the worst situations from a head coaching commitment level we've ever seen. And it was just all of them across the board. Across the board. And it wasn't even that predictable. The landing spots, Vrabel should have used Hendy. There was no signs that he would love this fumbling-itis running back. And he would just overcommit to him. And then when Hendy fumbles once since high school, he hasn't fumbled once in college, fumbles once, he takes him off the field. We could not have seen that coming. It is what it is, though. I'll take an L. But Harvey and Hendy are them. And damn straight, if it's a year later, I will be right. I know I'll be right on one of them, but I think I'll be right on both of them. May, Jackson, maybe trade May if this is one QB. Bijan, Judkins, love the running back stable. Love it. Monungai down to Brashard Smith, down to Harvey. Lots of upside. Rice, Tet McMillan, BTJ, Hunter. I kind of look at Rice and Hunter as your top guys at wide receiver, and then I'm very intrigued about trading Tet or BTJ. Would I trade Tet and BTJ with maybe, I don't know. I don't know what you can really do. Free, take Tootin off waivers, drop anyone to get him. Yeah, maybe your kicker for now. Buy some time. But I don't. You maybe this 2-for-1 trade is, you're going to be able to open up a spot. But I don't think I could drop anybody but Brashard Smith or Monungai. I'll probably say the moment you drop Brashard Smith, you'll be taking one for the team, and he'll go to the moon. So we kind of need you to do it for the team. But I would say Brashard Smith or Monungai, and your choice, dealer's choice. You could also try and trade May to a QB needy team. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick up like at least an A-Rod or something, but Lamar Jackson is bye-week free. You could risk the biscuit and say if an A-Rod needs to be grabbed later or a Stafford, somebody will be out there in this particular league, Smitty. They always leave quarterbacks out there. Seems like maybe that would be the case, but if I'm wrong, be careful trading May. But trading May to a QB-needy team with a BTJ or Tet McMillan for a slightly better receiver, Adams or above, or maybe a slightly better running back than Judkins, who's injured, you go after an Achane or something. But I think you could maybe open up a spot that way, and then I pick up Tootin. Thank you for the super chat, young man. Appreciate you. XDS with an additional super here. 5-3, A-Rod, Purdy, Goff, Sharps, Bucky, Bijan, Rice, Igbuka, London, JMO. We got 500 people on YouTube still. We have about 100 or so on X. Please, all my X people, get on over to YouTube and smash that thumb up button. Anybody here that has not liked.
Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please hit that thumb up button. Please subscribe and do it all live. Appreciate you all for being here. This is your one-stop shop. We're live every single day, multiple times. 5-3, A-Rod, Purdy, London. Trade ideas have start 2 running backs in this league. Have to start 2 running backs. I'm waiting on Bucky for the most part. I like your team a lot. Rice, Buka, London. I love it. I don't think I'm moving much, but maybe contemplating moving like Fannin over Warren. I almost don't want to move anything if I'm you, except for a quarterback upgrade would be nice. If I could use Warren to get Lamar, I would do that. Go see who the Lamar owner has. Go see who the Drake May owner has. Would I give Fannin and like JMO or Fannin and Sharbs or Fannin and something like that to upgrade into May? Sure. Would I give... it's going to be hard to make a move. Warren for Lamar might work, might not. Depends on what they got at quarterback, if they got a good backup. Past that, bro, I don't know. Don't think you can really... Goff's decent enough. I'm okay leaving that alone. I just don't think I move these wide receivers unless I'm... And I don't think I move the running backs. I think I'm just waiting on Bucky. Would I trade Bucky for Barkley or Bucky for Henry? Maybe, yeah. But we're another week closer to Barkley coming back, man. So, I don't know. Or for Bucky coming back. I think I like this team, XDS. I'm not moving much unless I'm trading Fannin away, Warren away. Or Fannin. Fannin and Goff for like a slight quarterback upgrade. Or Fannin, Goff, and Sharbs to the Walker owner for a slight quarterback upgrade. Look at that. See if the Walker owner can help you out with a QB upgrade. Or if the Walker owner can help you out, Sharbs and London for a slight quarterback upgrade or wide receiver upgrade like the JJ. If you could get London turned into JJ, I'd do it. Nico, I'd do it. London, I like London, but Sharbs I could throw away to upgrade that. And then to upgrade a QB. That's the only thing I would look at. Appreciate your super chat, my boy. Dropping it live. Guys, we'll be back tonight. Make sure you are on the Patreon, the live chat Patreon, 24/7, 365 live chat group. Join the Patreon. That link has been dropped in the live chat. I just hit the pin on that, so it should be pinned right. Actually, hold on. Should be pinned right now. So if anybody wants to join the 365 24/7 live chat Patreon group, do that live. And the Gunner
Player of the Week.
Everybody vote on the Gunner.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Who do you want the Gunner Player of the Week to be? Majority vote wins right now. Let's pick someone that's going to excel. So vote on the Gunner Player of the Week while I switch out the Gunners. Right now I'm wearing the Witcher. And the Witcher comes with this. It always comes with whenever they have a promotion with. Look at that. The Witcher comes with this Witcher cloth, and sometimes it comes with a case and everything. So right now I'm going to switch them out for the Fallout. The Fallout comes with a nice Fallout cloth. You guys have probably heard of Fallout before. So this is a promo they had going with Fallout. Comes with this amazing case and this cloth as well. So here's the Fallout, and this Fallout pair comes, and this is what we're giving away this month. The Fallout comes in this blue metal case. This is a freaking awesome case that comes in. We're giving away the pair of the Fallout. That's the one we're giving away this month. How do you win? Let's give it away. Let's give away the Fallout pair. Let's give it away tomorrow night on the 8 p.m. show. We'll give away the pair of the Fallout glasses on the 8 p.m. show. So 8 p.m. tomorrow, we'll give away these Fallout glasses right here. Look at these. Look at these bad boys. They're gaming glasses. They're blue light blocking. These are like, they call these like gaming goggles essentially, but they're awesome. We'll give away the Fallout tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you all. How do you get a pair of the Gunner Player of the Week glasses if you want to get them now and you don't want to wait? 15% off.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
I'm going to drop the link in the live chat right now so you guys can get a pair of Gunner glasses at 15% off. So here we go. Let me drop the link in the live chat, and then you guys can grab it right here. Hold on one second. Here's the link from gunner.com, 15% off using this code. Here is the link right there. Get your Gunners now. Get Gunner glasses. These are blue light blocking glasses. There's a reason Smitty wears these. I wear the tinted ones, but they're sending me the dark amber. I like the yellow amber, but I like the dark amber better. And they're sending me the clicks version. These are the Fallout. The ones they're sending me that have the dark amber. So these are my favorite. The clicks. These are my absolute favorite. I love these ones. These are the best ones that they have. These are the clicks. They feel like you can't even tell you have them on. They're so light. They're sending me the dark amber, and I'm gonna rotate probably between these and the dark amber. Love the Gunners. So hit that link I just dropped in the live chat. Tyler says, would you trade Genty for Chase Brown and Vidal? I would take Chase Brown and Vidal. I think I've already answered that exact question tonight. I don't know if that was from you or from another person, but yeah, definitely. Shades look like the movie The Professional. Yeah, the goggle ones, they do kind of look like that, don't they? They have promos with all these. I wouldn't be surprised if they had The Professional. They had the Stark Industries. They have The Witcher. They've got so many different collab deals. And I believe they've done so many. I was so surprised when I looked through their collab glasses, the Fallout, they've got like Dune, they got all kinds of glasses. Buying some of these shades, definitely get the clicks, get the amber tinted or the sunglass tint. You can even get your prescription into it, BBQ, and have blue light blocking sunglasses or blue light blocking indoor amber or yellow tinted. You get the yellow tint. You can get the yellow tint or dark orange amber tint. These are the Witcher. And these are the yellow tint. You can get these in prescription. You can get the yellow tint in these prescription. You can get the amber tint prescription. But there's nothing better than blue light blocking glasses that are also your prescription. And then the hoodie. We'll give away the hoodie tonight on the show. I know we were going to do it on the 8 p.m. show here, but we're going to give away the hoodie tonight on the show. Okay? Tonight on the show. Do it live, and then we're going to give away the glasses tonight on the show as well. Okay. Appreciate you all. See you all tonight. Thank you for the super chatters tonight. We had the $99 hauler from Sheesh Coin from Gary. Another $99 hauler from Gary. We had BBQ with a $100 hauler as well. We had BZ with a 20. Vinny with a 20, Lego Batman, ZR, Rec, appreciate you, DMO with a 20, Sticky with a 20, and then gifted memberships. We had, who gifted memberships today? It was, let's see, did we have it, or is it last night? All right, my days are running together. Gifted memberships. I think we had BBQ dropping loads last night. Thank you all for that. I'll see you all at at midnight Eastern. We're live Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, like it says at the bottom. So Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then live at the top of the screen, you see live whenever big news breaks, and then also live every single night practically at midnight Eastern. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, for my $50.49. Husseini, you out there? Husseini dropped a 50 as well. Husseini's been dropping wads all over the place. Husseini, thank you for the $50 hauler. Husseini to the moon. Blee Nice to the moon. BZ, Vinny, Lego Batman, Z-Rec, DMO to the moon. Sticky to the moon. I said BBQ to the moon. Sheesh Coin and Gary to the moon. Double Gary to the moon. Moderators, thank you, Travis, Blackbeard, Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, DeBolt, Vampy. If I missed anybody else, I'm sorry. Kenny Powers, appreciate you. See you all at midnight Eastern like we do it almost every single night. Dose.